Welcome back, everybody, to ESA Summer 21. We're here to raise money for Save the Children. Links to donate can be found just below the stream. We'd also like to thank Twitch and ViewSonic for sponsoring this event. Now, it's time for FBIMichaelScarn to run Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales. Take it away.
Hey, welcome everybody. This is a face reveal for those who do know me. And no, I am not Steve Carell moonlighting as a speedrunner on here. I am here with Chrono Cross 77, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi everyone, Chrono Cross 77. Been best friends with the runner for over 30 years, and you're all definitely in for a treat tonight, so enjoy.
So before we get started, just a couple accessibility options. QT autocomplete, it is faster on this, unfortunately, as much as I do love button mashing. And changing button taps to holds actually does speed up a couple spots later on. We'll turn on subtitles. And I'll count down once I hit start, it goes. 3, 2, 1, start. We open with 2 minutes and 40 seconds of cutscenes. Now this run is New Game Ultimate. There is also a New Game Plus Ultimate. However, this one is much more difficult than the other since you do not have like a free Mega Venom Blast revive, third takedown, and amongst other like just a bunch of other extra damage you get. Bosses hit a little bit harder too, just because you do not have the upgrades or like health from getting to like level 30. You start at literally level 1.
Sounds easy.
There is 52 minutes and 31 seconds of cutscenes currently in the game. So in honor of that, I will be donating at least $52.31 for that for the rest of the run. And in addition to that, every minute that I'm under the estimated time, which is 3 hours, 10 minutes, which was pretty aggressive before, since I only had a world record at 3:05, like as of 3 days ago. I'll be donating $5 towards that. And if I do die, if I can't save Miles, can at least save the children. So I'll donate $10 on top of that for every death. But yeah, 52 minutes, strap up. If there are any donations you'd like to read, there's still another minute 20 before we actually get into the action here.
Sounds good to me. I do have a $40 donation that came in from Sammy. It says, this is my first time catching ESA, but I love the cause and I love the gameplay. Much love to everyone here. Well, much love to you, Sammy. Thank you so much for your generosity.
So a thing to keep in mind the entire run, because you will have to watch pretty much all these cutscenes. Miles is the absolute worst at keeping a secret. There might be 10, maybe 20 people that don't know his identity by the end of the game. About on par with like Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 2. So setting this up, this does take place shortly after the events of Spider-Man 2018. Miles is still getting his feet wet, but he does have his powers already. And head into the first swinging section here as they babysit a convoy carrying a Rhino. So there's a lot of tutorial prompts early on in here. Couple schools of thought on fastest swinging. Generally, your route is the most important. Not quite as in-depth swinging-wise as it is in like Spider-Man 2 for PS2 Classic. You have to distinguish which Spider-Man you are talking about, because there have been so many. Including Teg's run of Spider-Man 2002 earlier on, which was great. But yeah, generally, as long as you keep max speed, you are good. You can cut it off with a X for like the one web zip line. It's a little easier on New Game Plus, because you actually get 2 of those just from all your upgrades. And the other thing you get is an ability that can convert your extra camouflage energy into Venom juice. So you can Venom Dash at a much higher clip. Here, I don't even get Venom Dash for another hour and a half through the run.
Okay, be cool. Be cool. Helping Spider-Man protect a giant prison convoy? You can handle this. Breathe in, breathe out. Be cool.
right into like another minute and a half of cutscenes if you get any more donations.
Absolutely. I've got $20 coming in from Low Fat Evan saying, "Good luck with the Miles Morales run, Chris." Great commenter choice.
Thank you, Evan. Another lifelong friend of ours for like 30 years. We appreciate the support, dude.
I've also got $25 coming in from Chompy McChomp that says, "Godspeed, Spider-Man."
Oh, God. Another lifelong friend of the Scarn family as well. Thank you very much, Chomp.
And with that, that concludes all of our mutual friends.
So yeah, equally unsuccessful convoy trip here. If you're flying a helicopter in New York, probably not the greatest idea in these two games. Did not turn out well in Pete's 2018 version either. Although this one lasted a little bit longer, I feel. So this is a raw new game run, so you will not see like all the upgraded abilities until like much later on. It does make some of the transition free roam sections a lot spicier though, because I actually have to be busy on it instead of just waiting for the next event trigger, because they gate you about 4 or 5 times in the game where you can't really progress. And this run does pick up steam as it goes. It gets pretty nasty. There's very few spots where I'm not like 2 to 3 hits away from death the entire time.
Is that Paul Giamatti? Wow. What a realistic rendition.
Finally getting that Amazing Spider-Man 2 sequence at the end. So these regular prison escapees, they only take 3 webs to actually take out.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most efficient ways to kill enemies is by webbing them and then throwing them down or knocking them into other obstacles.
Yeah, once those 6 are done, another mini cutscene, and then still a few more tutorials.
Nice, that was nice.
Yeah, if you don't heal there, they actually do like just leave like permanent slowdown time.
Yeah, enemies with firearms are extremely dangerous in this game, but the game does do a really good job of giving you indicators that give you enough time to dodge.
Yeah, the one thing on some of them later on, you have to be like out of the line of fire. You can't just get the perfect dodge. You can actually get still jacked up if you're in the line of fire, which makes sense, but you have to take extra caution on this difficulty because they can melt your bar, as you see there.
Yep.
About 5 seconds off the world record pace. I had just the record was 3:05 when I submitted this like a couple months ago. Been grinding out most of the encounters in this. Thankfully, you don't have to sit through the cutscenes for that. The save system they implemented is great for actually like optimizing every single part of like the run, every combat encounter, provided you get the patience to do manual saves. So the run went from 3:05 to 3:01 last week, and then Monday actually just got it under 3 hours for the first time, so it is possible. However, it's also possible for the run to go really wrong, just because there's some of these fights where if I do not hit everything perfectly, they have some kind of anti-infinite defense that does crazy damage, especially on the final boss. You have to kind of cut yourself a little bit short if you can't fully break it. And you lose like half your bar for one mistake, if not 3/4 in some of these sections. Also, as the run got faster, I started taking less upgrades too. Ah, that was sloppy. And this will always be a Christmas game for me for sure. It's nice to see like a mall actually like packed, despite the rampaging rhino coming through. This is definitely not shot in 2020, that's for sure.
I was gonna say, this might actually be what's going on at malls these days. I have no idea. Everyone's favorite part. Cans. It was just cans. If only Miles was in speed, that poor lady. She would have retained all the recyclables. So you actually do take damage on the Christmas tree, I believe, and this middle thing, but it's something that doesn't get unwound like the next checkpoint anyway. They actually went a bit less cinematic on some of the boss fights later on, which I definitely prefer over what they did on Spider-Man 2018. Definitely been good progress in this game, or from Insomniac in terms of developing like legit like character action boss fights. Not nearly enough J. Jonah Jameson for my taste in this game, but what there is still pretty good. Decent swing, not too far off. Lost a little bit of time on the second wave of enemies, but still pretty close. Got some time for donations if you'd like.
Sounds good. I've got $10 coming in from Lucid Faith. It says, "Good luck, FBIMichaelScarn. I wish I was half the gamer you are."
Thank you, Lisa. One of my favorite streamers on Twitch for sure. Who also previously ran Spider-Man 2018. Far better than I ever did, actually. Alright, this section's where it starts to get a little bit spicier. You start to get a few new moves. Yeah, if you get them up against the wall, too, it instantly will bind them to it, or the floor. There are a couple ways to deal with it.
Yeah.
The faster you get up here, the quicker you can actually get your takedown tutorial to trigger. Yeah. After that, then every like 15 hits, you get a free takedown, which, especially on Ultimate, is generally faster than most everything. Also a good like filler for when you need to get your web shooters back in. Bully McGuire has no need for that though, but unfortunately he's not playable in this.
Yeah, finishes are not generally something you want to hold on to too long. They're pretty easy to get.
Yeah, depending on the enemy mix, it's usually not too bad to generate a new one. And early on, you cannot bank a second one until there's an upgrade about halfway through the game.
Right. Yep.
On New Game Plus, you can actually bank 3 like to start, so it's a huge benefit on an area like this anyway. Also, one of the other key differences between New Game Plus and New Game, in addition to all like the other stuff that makes it way easier, along with like a free Mega Venom Blast when you would normally die on this. Oh, hang on one sec. Pete just gets absolutely bodied by Rhino. Whoever wrote this game definitely has like a huge love for Rhino. Maybe it was like Paul Giamatti's like a distant cousin. Because Rhino gets way more action than he normally does. Typically, he is a tutorial boss, and like going back to like the Neversoft Spider-Mans in like 2000. But yeah, not having the ability that turns camo energy into Venom really like limits your offensive power early on for sure. Oh, and the other thing you will see shortly. Nice. The pre-order bonuses are like impossible to disable on this. I've tried like new raw accounts on this, and it still just does not wipe them clean. Like you can just do a quick play account. Oh, here's a ground bounce for if Rhino ever makes it into Marvel vs. Capcom, he's definitely gonna have that. But yeah, you'll see 3 extra points that I cannot use for upgrades through the entire run, otherwise it invalidates the run. And the other big thing is Gravity Well, which is like the 4th gadget. They have it unlocked by default. Cannot use that either through the entirety of the run. So I actually have to be very careful when I'm choosing my web gadgets, I guess if you want to say that, throughout the entire game. Yeah, that dodge is actually a little trickier than some of the others. You have to really hold your water. If you go too early, he just plows you, like, no problem. Alright, that was super clean. I will take that all day. Embarrassingly, I actually died to him this morning in practice, so I was trying something new. Definitely sticking with the old reliable on that. Got time for more donations here, as Topher Grace makes his entrance back into the Spider-Man series in about 2 minutes.
Excellent. Well, I've got $20 from Gravitas858. Says, thank you for doing what you do, Michael Scarn. Hope the run gets a great turnout.
Thank you very much.
Guys, wow, just wow. Simon Krieger, head of R&D at Roxxon Energy.
Still time for another about 2 more minutes of cutscenes if you have any more donations.
Oh, gosh. Well, then let's remind everybody what we're here to do, and that is to raise money for Save the Children. Now, Save the Children was the first global organization that was devoted solely to serving children's needs and securing their rights. They're often the first or only child-focused organization working in the hardest-to-reach places where it's toughest to be a child. As a result, Save the Children's teams have been proactive in preparedness for pandemic threats. They work with youth, their families, and their communities to make sure that young people's health needs get met. You can help give children a future by donating during this event. And so far, we've raised $35,575, a truly astonishing feat, but I know we can do better, and I would love to see those donations just pour in. So, dig deep, dig out those wallets, come on, get some donations in, you'll be eligible for some amazing prizes, and you're helping to support an amazing charity in the process.
Bioelectricity. Wow. Gotta be honest, little jealous.
Hey, look, I got nothing on the OG.
It's great. Here's the new face model for Peter Parker they threw in the Spider-Man remastered version.
Man, yeah, sorry. I've been meaning
A little hard for me to buy that he's been here for 8 years already.
For the next few weeks.
Is some kind of pee joke I don't get?
No. MJ's headed overseas for the Bugle and requested me as her photographer.
And this is the part where Spider-Man conveniently takes vacation for a good 2 weeks after getting bodied by Rhino.
Look, I don't know if I'm ready to fly solo. I screwed up today.
I mean, I'd probably leave the country too, based on how much of a jobber Rhino usually is in these games.
Bacon, Miles.
I got lucky.
Hey, I did this gig for 8 years without backup, and you better believe I screwed up lots of times. But that is how you learn.
What's this?
So actually 1.5 seconds above the record I had set out the other day. So looking pretty good. That run was pretty tight until the very end, so if I'm even, I'm ahead towards the end.
In my power to protect this city.
And yeah, the cutscenes taper off a bit after about the first hour.
That's it.
That oath a real thing.
Totally. Definitely didn't just make it up. See you in a few weeks, Spider-Man. New York's only Spider-Man.
He looks way too happy to be leaving.
It's been a rough year. Everybody's excited to fly again.
For sure.
Yep.
Well, that and it's Christmas in New York. Who doesn't want to go to warmer weather?
Absolutely. All right, so for this, it's the ASMR section. Since this will actually get like copyright struck. Unfortunately, it is like the best song in the entire game. We'll try to go through it. If I can hold my controller close to the mic, you can actually hear the cheesy thwip sounds that they threw in on the remote. God bless the new PS5 tech for that. And see in the upper corner, still have 3 skill points that I cannot use whatsoever in this run, just thanks to the pre-order bonuses that can't be disabled quite yet. So right here, Miles is swinging. Genki has a gift for him in the park. And if you can read the the subtitles here, Genki is absolutely geeking out that he got to fight the Rhino. Imagine if it was like Green Goblin or like Kingpin. He would have gone absolutely nuts.
Or the immortal Martin Lee.
Yeah, for sure. We'll ditch the cheesy suit that Pete gives you. It's kind of a slap in the face, if you ask me.
I'll let you know when I find it.
All right, and we're back.
Welcome to Just the Facts with me, your truth-slinging host with the most, J. Jonah Jameson.
What? Does Pete said it suits the autoplay Jameson show? Guy's a masochist.
So on these swings, the point launch is pretty lousy until you get like the New Game Plus. Well, not even New Game Plus. Just from the traversal challenges later. I feel like you're actually better off canceling it from my testing of it. This run's generally like so difficult, your swings are not going to be what like sets you from putting up a good time at all. It's more about actual like combat skill throughout this whole thing. Since you saw even like the first enemies, I took like one of those hits from guys with a machine gun, and Miles lost like 3/4 of his health. Another small little tutorial section here. They loosen this a little bit on New Game Plus, but you still have to go through it. I messed around with this quite a bit. These actually move depending on where you last finished off the group. So it's kind of difficult to get like any kind of rhythm on it.
This holotech is next gen. With the right parts, but I can make it portable.
Yeah, if you ring out these guys, instant death, basically. It's about the fastest way to go through these. At least from my testing on this section. Disarming is something you like rarely will see this run. It's just usually not worth the time.
Yeah, you're completely invulnerable while you're trying to do that, and it's rarely worth it. Completely vulnerable, sorry. The bad one.
Oh god, that's great. Oof, that was generous. I probably should have been blasted there. Ooh, that was some funkiness. Still relatively quick.
Y'all trying to catch some hands? Yeah? Okay, let's go.
That poor guy, he may not be dead, but he's definitely concussed. Miles kind of subscribes to the Batman school of thought and taking out baddies.
Y'all are not authorized to sell.
Ooh. I think one more straggler. Now we're good.
That's it for the tech thieves.
That was a solid set.
Training sim. Colonel Panic.
Pretty much every combat encounter after this has like a pretty crazy risk of death.
That did it. Looks like Pete made stealth, swinging, and combat challenges. Gotta check these out when I get a chance.
There's actually a gold split there.
Hey dude, I think you should check out Roxon Plaza on your way home. I just walked by and pretty sure someone's breaking in.
Yeah.
So yeah, the upgrades come pretty good. By the end of the run, I'm usually like level 15, level 16.
I think it's some kind of bioelectric discharge.
You get 20% extra like damage at a couple extra spots, melee damage wise, which does make a huge difference. So you can imagine like how much more damage you're outputting on
That's not bad.
New Game Plus when you have all that at your disposal. And I got utterly destroyed the first few times going through on Ultimate on New Game Plus. But yeah, it doesn't really prepare you for this. This is pretty crazy. It's a great challenge though. I'm glad I have it in there.
No sign of anybody. They broke a bunch of stuff. Maybe they were
Yeah,
looking for
originally in the
some-
game, I think there was 45 minutes of skippable cutscenes. Or unskippable, I should say. And then I guess to increase stability, they've actually added like an extra 4 here. So the first upgrade taking increased bioelectric power generation from attacking and dodging. It just, no matter what you do, it's beneficial. Like there's no getting around it. Even though there are some other really good power-ups.
Yankees right.
Now these underground Tinker thugs, these guys actually take 4 webs, except for the guys with the giant Hulk hands, who take quite a bit more.
Haven't seen you guys before. Nice glow sticks. You guys take returns?
Generally, I use the one over the head that's hat tip to Spider Matty.
What are these weapons? Memory metal?
Figured that one actually doesn't have like all the slowdown of some of the others.
That was awesome.
I'll try to showcase some of the takedowns if I can, but I do not want. Oh, that was the Miles save. They had that in Spider-Man 2018 as well. That guy actually did die. Yeah, so ideally I use the takedowns on the Hulk hand dudes.
Hey, you at the plaza?
You were right. It's a break-in. Sounds like they're after new form.
The stuff in the reactor?
It's not installed yet.
And you can see how many hits it actually takes to kill an enemy legit in this without using the
I did that grocery shopping your mom wanted, but she's wondering where you are.
the webs or any kind of other stuff in the environment.
Okay, I'll try to wrap this up. Thanks, man.
At least until later on in the run when you get quite a few more options. and Miles becomes an absolute powerhouse. Even more fun than Peter was, in my opinion.
Literally a powerhouse.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah, you'll find out later that Miles is also the world's most efficient electrician.
3 different times, even.
Yep.
Yeah, if you leave stragglers, you actually have to go back out on the other side, and it kills like your time no matter what. It's a little better to be thorough in some of these sections instead of trying to completely rush through it.
That was a really good section. That was pretty.
Thank you. Actually, yeah, not bad. 16.6 seconds ahead of the other day, which I thought I had pretty clean openings. I guess not. Next section's not completely cutscenes, but there's about 3 minutes of slow walk and talk. If you have any more donations.
Absolutely. Chompy McChomp's back with another $25 and says, "I'm sorry, Scarn. You have to take this run back to formula."
Oh, God.
And then I can also bring up our speedrunstore.com. If you haven't seen that yet, it's literally speedrunstore.com. Yes, I can't believe we got that URL either. But we've got a ton of really cool t-shirts. We've got some mugs, some stickers, some hoodies. You should go and check that place out. Some really nice designs. I get a big kick out of the officially bootleg, but I'm also biased because I was there when that bad logo was drawn on the whiteboard over at ESA Winter 20. But yeah, check it out over at speedrunstore.com. The proceeds from which the profit from which is going to go back into the charity. So by all means, get those orders in for some pretty cool merch.
So Genki spills that pasta on the floor. Never gets cleaned up for the rest of the game, I'm pretty sure. He's arguably the greatest villain just from that. The first time playing through this, I messed around with like everything in here. I didn't realize there was so little you actually needed to do.
Guess mom's not done unpacking either. That wallpaper just screams Abuela. Well, what's that? Huh. Must have gotten mixed up in the move. One of Dad's old case files.
Yeah, the game's not exactly LA Noire, but they don't actually do too much of this, thankfully. And I will take this gladly over the stealth sections they had in 2018.
Oh man, I forgot about those. Those were so bad.
There were a couple clever ones, I'll give it, like the MJ and Grand Central, but yeah. I'd rather have like the enemy gauntlet design, which they've had in this. And actually since the DLC, there was like, I think a couple stealth sections in the first DLC, but not too bad. They're improved even on that. And then the last couple DLCs for Spider-Man 2018 were just ridiculously good action, like almost the entire way through, with good concepts, and they've carried that over here. You see really good enemy mix throughout.
That doorbell's been broken for years. Miles, could you get that?
Of course.
So Miles is pretty bold considering there is a blackout and he is in New York City.
No good.
And it is Christmas and everyone is home.
Looks like the whole block's out.
Let me check if I can see anything from the fire escape. Definitely can't get to the transformer from here.
It's the first time he gets to play an electrician. Pete would have a bad run if he was actually in this scenario. Pretty much Miles is the only one that could have actually done what needs to be done throughout this game.
People on the roof. Can't go up there. Really hope no one can see me up here. Don't look out the window. Don't look out the window.
Think Miles is having any luck outside? I hope so. Hot plates are only going to get us so far,
Bioelectricity can take down Rhino. But can it save Christmas dinner? Come on. It worked. Oh man, those lights are bright. Did not think this through. Gotta get back inside.
Yeah, the local electric unit be sending a supervillain of their own after. That's probably how the Electro origin is in this I don't think they really went into it in 2018, right?
Miles.
What?
Miles is a total scab the entire time.
Oh,
So I stayed up last night and designed an app for your new suit. Thing's got a crazy custom OS.
Still about another minute donate
But I ran it through a
of
disassembler,
cutscenes if you like
so
donations
reverse
right now.
engineered plugin architecture and
Well, I can bring up the prizes that we have available. If you go over to prizes.esamarathon.com, you'll see that we have a number of prizes that you can get in on based off of your donation amounts. Starting with something absolutely amazing that we have on hand. It's a PS5, and it's a PS5 that also includes Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. And you can get in on that with a donation of $50 or more. And that is a cumulative donation across the entire marathon. So if you've donated at all, if it adds up to $50 or more, you will be eligible for that PS5. We also have a pair of ViewSonic monitors. We have a ViewSonic Elite VX2705-2KP, which is a giant mouthful to say. But that's a 27-inch QHD monitor with 144 hertz refresh rate. That's available with a $35 donation. And we also have a ViewSonic Elite XG270, which is also a really fast gaming monitor. That one's a 240 hertz gaming monitor. So that and other prizes are available over at prizes.esamarathon.com.
Wait, what? That's my uncle.
does he know you're Spider-Man?
No.
So Genki develops this app, and the first call is actually from Miles' uncle. For whatever reason, he kind of gets short shrift on this because they always allow skippable cutscenes for Uncle Aaron.
He definitely didn't recognize me. Oh,
Meanwhile, you pretty much have to sit through a good 6 minutes of Finn like the entire time.
You know, I've got a pretty appropriate donation for you with that mentioned.
the underground.
I've got $5 from Low Fat Evan. It says, FBIMichaelScarn, thanks for helping raise money for Save the Children and sitting through all these cutscenes.
Thank you, Ev. I'm glad someone appreciates it. But yeah, when practicing this game up, I've only done probably 20 something full game runs counting between New Game Plus and New Game on Ultimate anyway. Only.
Cool.
And the way to practice it is definitely just doing the independent levels and boss fights. And even then, you still gotta, some of the transitions, a couple of the spicier fights later still have long, unskippable transitions in between. Ooh.
Well,
Fun fact, Miles can actually die from the
showed initiative by using the friendly
this
neighborhood
L train in this game. I have gotten flattened. I don't know if they took that out, but it was just perfect storm. One of the first times I ran this.
There are way too many wires on this one. It's gotta be messing with the signal. Where do these cables go?
The dad from A Christmas Story definitely wired that one up for the underground.
Signal relays are jammed by something.
All right, here they force you to make the hollow drone. There's a couple of spots like this.
Unique RF.
Hollow drones are not too bad, but they actually kind of mess you up when you use them as this guy.
Facilities around the city.
If you use them on bosses, they can kind of mess up their attack pattern. You're almost better off letting them attack you, because there are some skills later that are much better when the enemies attack you for perfect dodge. And yeah, Venom Jump is awesome. That's one of the best field moves that they put in this game. Not quite as diesel as it is on New Game Plus, but still really fun and useful, almost the entire time.
Hey, underground! We gotta stop running into each other.
Oof. Sweet. Yeah, the animations are outstanding on some of these. Oof, that guy was still alive, no way. That is why I generally try to save the takedowns for the whole can guys.
Should check in with Uncle Aaron.
It's just so much faster than even like using 2 to 3 venom moves on him.
How are things looking now?
I've got a signal, but no trains on the tracks. Something must have gone down at the yard.
It was the underground messing with your sensors. I'm thinking.
So Miles, not only an electrician, also an MTA employee for this.
The subway system was designed, not freight. This line got some updates with Roxxon Plaza in.
Just making enemies with all the union workers in New York City.
I'll follow up on it. So, you mentioned your brother.
I don't think the crane operators from Amazing Spider-Man 1 will be there to help him at the end.
Make some changes, like taking his job. I miss him, especially my nephew. We used to mix beats together.
Well, underground's wrecking everything. Maybe I can stop them quietly.
Hurry it up.
Gotta split those guys
Get
up.
in and out quick. This stuff takes time, man. What was that noise?
What was that noise? Just the box. They missed out on doing whose footprints of these here. Especially in the snow. They could have had it.
Good time to try out Pete's visor check. Nice.
That's mostly the extent of the tutorials, to be honest. There's some select moves here and there, but not too much. Pretty much have a full arsenal after the next couple of sections.
Imagine stealth killing all these enemies. Who does that?
Oof. This is actually one area I did not test for that. A little bit sluggish there.
Now to get the train.
Almost bit it actually, but not too bad.
They're probably in the office. Tinkerer. Unc said that's their leader. Oh man, they read the controls.
Like I said, virtually any of these fights, especially the next one, they start throwing in a crazy enemy mix, especially with like the range rifles. You can kind of be comboed from like the range rifles into the Hulk hands, and you lose like 75% of your life just like that. If you had 75% to give in the first place.
That's good. Underground looks at Luthor.
This part took me an embarrassingly long time to figure out the first time through.
They're trying to stop Luthor from reaching the city, or what? Yes. Okay, one more. It worked. We've got trains on the tracks. Now they need power. They busted the controls here too, but not the generator. Okay, I can use that to power the trains. Probably. My webs are conductive. Come on, trust the New York subway. Yes!
All you need is your fist and some spider webs, and you can power anything.
Yeah, apparently.
Yep.
Did anything change on your end?
Panels just lit up like Christmas. Good job, kid.
Glad to help. If anything else comes up, just post a note in the app.
Wait a second. I got a little something here. It's not much.
Oh man.
For me?
It's the least I can do for the guy who just saved my job.
Cool, cool. I'll head back now.
It is kind of messed up that Miles has all these electric powers, and he doesn't get free electricity for his mother.
How's day one of solo Spider-Man?
She's still paying for it like the entire time. I wonder how she feels about that later on.
Classic. You have a plan?
Sort of making it up as I go.
The mark of a true Spider-Man. Well, if you need me, I'm a phone call.
I got time for donations.
Cross-Atlantic flight, but it's fine.
Right on. Well, we've got $25 coming in from MareBear86. It says, loving FBIMichaelScarn running Miles Morales on Ultimate. Well, we are too. Thank you so much for the donation.
Dude, fixing the subways made the
Thank you very much. That is Mrs. Scarn.
So many requests. Like, this one's from Teos.
She finally gets to see what's been monopolizing my time the last like 6 months.
We're like the #1 app in NYC right now. Check it out as soon as you're done with your uncle. He still doesn't know you're you, right?
Had a couple near misses, but I kept my cover. I'll check the app as soon as I'm done here. Later. Gotta hit Finn back when I finish helping Unc. Oh, hey, Mr. Davis. I'm almost there.
You gotta hurry, Spider-Man. Underground's here. Putting bombs on the tracks.
Bombs?
All right, here we go.
Guess they didn't like you fixing it.
4 bombs to defuse here, and you pretty much got to clear out all the enemies as well.
They're gonna blow the whole line.
Not if I can help it.
Yeah,
Thankfully-
this. Sorry, go ahead.
There you go.
I was gonna say this definitely felt like the first difficulty spike when I was playing it, just because of the nasty enemy mix and the time factor.
There's more on the upper tracks.
I'll get them.
Oof. Scary. Not what I intended to throw. Just ignore the laptop right there, Miles. Thank you. What stinks about that is it actually does it takes away from your web shooters just doing that, even though it's more of a cinematic. Baby, that was so tight.
Across the intersection. Another one.
On it.
There are a couple of Hulk hand guys that'll like destroy you in this section too. I've actually had an assist from a cop like bail me out once, which was kind of nice sharing with this, but extremely rare.
Today you attacked the train. Why? To stop new form? You steal it? Come here with your
Ah, he just switched positions. Still one straggler. This is pretty slow, I gotta say. Took way too much damage. When you're in like the flow and you keep like going into takedown into that, but it's easy to get hit by stray bullets even when you're being like relatively careful there.
The next train is arriving in 5 minutes. Please stand clear of the approaching train.
Underground did a number on my suit.
This is like one of the biggest upgrades in the game. Oop. Hang on. 50% upgrade after a perfect dodge. Like, you notice the difference.
Said the app's blowing up.
It makes
City definitely needs
like a lot of the later boss fights go a million times faster if you just kind of milk that. Sometimes you're almost better off dropping your combos a little bit early just to maximize that, especially when you go with like a hard Venom Punch or one of the other upgrades they have later. It makes a gigantic difference in terms of your damage output.
Look out for a logo with a giant hero.
Okay. Thanks for the tip. Oh, Mom, I wanted to ask.
Also makes it a little bit risky because you kind of want to hold on to that for max damage, but also can end up killing you, as you see. With the enemies only hit harder from here on out.
Why? They didn't try to get you involved in their mess, did they?
No, no. Uncle Aaron told me about him.
So this is the first free roam section, just grabbing a few of the tech parts.
At the subway stop by our house.
This is about the only tech parts I actually need for the entire run.
You know I don't want you around here.
But you and Dad never told me why I wasn't allowed to see
You need quite a bit more if you're maxing out everything, but
all the time.
for the purposes of this, there's just not enough time to get enough activity tokens and like tech parts, so
1 second.
kind of have to cut it here.
Sorry, honey. We're still setting up.
It's all good. Go save the world.
Time for more donations if
Have
you have
I
any.
told you you're my favorite son?
Well, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to ESA Summer 21 and everybody who has donated and everybody who's going to donate. Right? We've got so many people that are out there that are enjoying this marathon this week. I know I always do. And I want to thank them personally for coming by and being with us and for, their viewership throughout this entire thing. That's going to actually wrap it up for me for the day. My name's Nordic Soy. I've been here for the last couple hours, and I'm going to turn the hosting mic over to the one, the only kid. So he'll take you through the next few hours, and yeah, I will see you all on Saturday. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the run.
Sorry. Been wrapped up in my own stuff.
Thank you very much, Nordic.
But I'm free now. Wait,
Thanks, Nordic.
Sweet. 78th and West End.
78. By the Science Center? Why there?
You'll see. Don't be late.
78th and West End.
So yeah, this is the location where Finn actually invites you to meet.
Hustle over.
Kind of suspicious. Only a few people can actually get up here, and she still doesn't put it together that he's Spider-Man for some time.
Man, it was so good to see Finn. I should find the other time capsules we hid. But a little later. I gotta get home from Mom's rally. Good time to use this unlimited ride pass.
Yeah, unlimited ride pass from Uncle Aaron. I didn't have any uncles that were quite that generous, unfortunately.
Phone, check. Subway card.
Even though it kills me to actually do that.
Yeah, I got it.
There are quite a few spots where fast travel is just pure better. Thankfully, with like PS5, that's one of the big upgrades. You see almost nothing of it. He basically just flashes it out of the tunnel. I think on the PS5 remaster, you have to actually edit it back in. There's an option for cutscenes where he's sitting on the subway with the guy sleeping on him. It's pretty great. I completely forgot about those. So hopefully Genki behaves and doesn't block me. Oh. For being the guy in the chair, he's got some pretty good moves, honestly. It's also why Barry Sanders never had a lead blocker.
We've got a situation here.
Everyone, stay calm!
Nowhere to run!
Weapons up!
They need you. I'll help your mom.
Two pretty nasty fights here. Same enemy mix as last time with like one extra sniper up top.
I got you.
Let's go!
God, that Spider-Verse suit looks so good. Ooh. Like, I don't even know what I got hit by there.
You attacked the wrong route.
Ooh, I was going for that grab on those, but did not quite work out. that actually hits like pretty high, the vertical on that. It's almost always worth it to take out that bomb.
Don't worry, we're taking care of her. What about you? How's the underground doing?
That doesn't make sense.
Nice, got the whole can, dude.
But there isn't any here. Had to figure out the Tinkerer's next move.
I'm logging into your analytics. I'll help how I can.
Good idea.
That was good.
Thanks for helping my mom.
Mostly clean after that first hit. I still didn't even see where that was.
Yeah, it looked like some kind of like Hulk Hogan back rake or something.
Is that the ultimate
to-
in WCW NWO World Tour?
He had to sell it or something, yeah.
No, stay where it's safe.
What's your hurt?
I do love that they adapt some UMVC3 moves in this game, especially on the final boss, as you'll see later.
We're all okay. You stay where it's safe. Atiende. I'll be back soon.
One thing I cannot play with in this game, however, is the Spider-Verse animation is so sick. I can't believe they put it in, but that's like a challenge run in itself. It just really like messes up the readability for me. With the actual like development in that, unbelievable. Such a nice touch.
But if Roxxon shows up, you run. Got it? They'll look for some of the blame for all this, and it won't just be the Tinkerer.
Okay. I'll be careful.
It's still one more like major fight coming up here.
It's just a warm-up.
Or a distraction.
This is where we get a second Venom bar, however, which adds a lot to the. Ooh,
Miles, I saw the explosion. Are you okay?
I'm fine. But did you see? The Tinkerer. Finn. I saw her today. If I just put everything together.
This is not your fault, man.
I was so happy to see her. I wasn't paying attention. I have to pay attention.
nice. He almost got saved on that ring out. This section looks phenomenal with the fire burning and at night. Looks so good. A lot of this game looks insanely pretty, especially on a PS5. That the 60 FPS really makes this game shine.
I gotta finish it so I can help those people.
Alright. It's clean. That's all I can really ask for. Right now I'm down about 45 seconds from the record the other day. But there is time to make up later on some of the end-game boss fights, which should be pretty good. What I did not know until a few days ago, you can just web zip to there. Trying to swing to there is an absolute nightmare. I remember overshooting that like 90% of the time. Same with this one, you have to hit a little bit lower. Otherwise those webs don't count. If you're like too high up, you'll just keep mashing like R1 forever. As if you're in like NES track and field and doesn't do anything.
Don't worry, I got you.
Those people, they're trapped.
I've got an idea.
If only Miles could shoot those webs off in the actual gameplay like that. There you go.
I need something they can cross.
Same with that one too. It's just a web zip. They give you like the target automatically. Oh, and here's this this L train equivalent. I don't know that Miles has the arms to really pull it in like that. Or cruise ship if you want to be Tom Holland. All right, and that wraps up the bridge rally. More time for donations. There's a couple minutes of cutscenes right here, if there are any.
I'm just going to remind everyone that Save the Children trains frontline health workers in communities to diagnose and treat common childhood illnesses like pneumonia, diarrhea, malaria, and newborn sepsis, empowering them to provide services that are proven to reduce child deaths. To ensure that the most vulnerable families have the funds to give their children the right kind of food and care needed to stay healthy, Save the Children makes sure that expectant mothers and babies receive care and information before, during, and after childbirth, so that babies have the best chance of surviving, growing, and developing. We do have $20 from T-Bone. Good luck with the rest of the run, baby. Marcy Sweet Pounds forever.
Thank you, T-Bone. Another instance of Ma's plot armor throughout this. He seems to get the fun upgrades exactly when he needs them.
What happened to Roxanne being here for us?
Actually, this is the longest stretch of cutscenes in the entire game. Poor Miles finding out that big corporations don't necessarily have his back. Especially in the MCU. Who would have thought?
Well, I guess I can take the time to remind everyone that we do have some bid wars coming up, actually. Not too long from now, we're going to see The Legend of Spyro, The Eternal Night, and you can choose the difficulty of that run. Right now, it is Dark versus Easy, with Dark in a landslide of a lead right now, $360 to nothing. If you want to see the runner have a little bit of an easier time, get in those donations now. They're going to a great cause.
Take note of the IGN logo on Miles' notebook there. I swear that's like from the 90s.
I could pick up dulce de coco.
I thought you'd quit after last night.
Why would I quit? I said
The best part about this heart-to-heart is that Genki is in the room the entire time.
You could have died.
Chrono, you remember when we were kids and my mom gave the birds and the bees talk while you were at the edge of the bed?
Yep.
It's perfectly natural.
I've never forgotten it.
Didn't quite have the sense to leave the room.
So maybe Miles was right to be worried about being on his own. Like, Peter says it'll be fine. The day later, he's in the middle of a war between two paramilitary organizations.
Yeah, boy, that escalated quickly, for sure.
Yeah, that'll be fine, don't worry.
When I got powers, I thought I'll be able to fix anything. Do anything that Spider-Man does.
It's a good song coming up. The training montage.
Whenever you say Spider-Man,
Unfortunately, I can't pipe in Hearts on Fire. Or there's no easy way out.
С такими воинами, как ты, я остановлю Кобру.
Начнем.
Кобра тебя уничтожит.
Признай, я смог тебя удивить.
Бросок Кобры. Snake Eyes. Только в кино с 22 июля.
The sequence is gonna be pumped up to work out. I should have taken like the Shitty Path, who ran like Resident Evil Zoolander percentage yesterday, did push-ups in between for all the cutscenes. Be like legitimately shredded by now, just after like the 13 runs on this category. That was the sick bridge rail. I think that actually might be PV. Should be a gold split. Yep. I'm currently tracking 25 seconds off the record put up the other day. So with this, I will take the one subway and work my way back up to get the 3 time capsules, which are probably the best bang for the, well, early on, they're the best bang for the buck in terms of getting activity tokens. Thank you, Miles. The timing on this one is pretty tight. Have to have like a relatively clean swing.
Miles, finally got through. Oh, hey Pete, what's going on? I saw the news. It was in Simkarian, so either a bridge exploded or a bagel was fumigated.
Thank you.
Doesn't make any sense in context. Either way, I'm looking at flights. I can be back tomorrow night. No, don't do that.
This was probably like the section that took me the longest to piece together in terms of timing on the free roam. Felt like it was never worth it to do the crimes mid-run on this.
And good luck learning Simkarian. Why are there 7 different words for bathroom?
Sweet, didn't get Miles fully submerged anyway. He is not a like GTA 3 era character though. He can actually survive it. Even though he's got to be freezing December in New York. Believe me, I know. I would not want to do that. All right. Yeah, usually I have a couple seconds to spare. Yeah, right into it.
Sad to see it like this.
Sweet, got in the door the first time. For whatever reason, just holding like right trigger trying to run into that is unnecessarily hard. Miss about half the time.
Hello?
Miles gets easily distracted.
This is dusty. No one's been here in a while. Someone left the lights on. Don't remember there being.
Not the most secret of like layers, I'd say.
Okay.
Feel bad whoever has to patch that up every single time.
Video file from 6 months ago.
And another couple minutes of cutscenes here if there's any other donations or incentives coming up.
All right. We have $20 from JChen3 saying, let's get it. Good luck, bro. Marcy 203 forever.
Let me.
Thank you, J-Chen.
You sure we're ready?
And just so everyone knows, we've raised over $35,600. Keep those donations coming. They're going towards an amazing cause. Thank you for everything you do.
That's phenomenal. Thank you everyone for watching and donating. That's great.
First we flush the core, then we wipe all data. You're sure they can't.
Давайте звук отстроим вместе с вами, потому что я еще не успелся. Как насчет такого? Или еще тише?
Shoutouts to New Jersey.
DOA.
И еще тише. Прекрасно.
So that Miles has his camo powers. There's a few other things you can do in terms of stealthing through some of these sections. It makes it a little bit easier. I made the mistake when I was first playing through this game of trying to stealth
Слегка
stealth
шумлю.
before getting camo. It's a big mistake. I think I bashed my head against
One
the wall
second, guys.
for like 30 minutes, and then I got the power up like the next mission, and I was like, oh, that's what I
Стримлинк
wanted
не
to do.
хочет работать. Стримлинк очень не хочет работать. Ой.
And once again, the plot armor kicking in just at the right time. Oh, though to be fair, his like time, his camouflage timer was definitely recharged at this point. So for whatever reason in this section, his like targeting goes crazy. You got to be real particular what you're doing here. If you try to like web zip down for the takedown, I've had him go like to the opposite end of the entire room. If you try to like and then you have 3 snipers on you, which is a huge problem.
У меня сейчас час 10:30. Чат. Как у вас?
Yeah, those guys are definitely the priority. Once you take out those 3, taking out those 2 stealth is definitely worth it.
Ну, это может из-за... Угу. Так, друзья, я так понимаю, вы целый час были без человека русскоязычного. Я думаю, стоит рассказать про игру, да? Вот. Значит, у нас Майлз Моралес, да? Эксклюзивчик для PS5. Ну, как эксклюзивчик для PS5? Он для PS4 есть, конечно же. Вот. Естественно, эта игра у нас это является продолжением того самого Спайдермена на PS4 2018 года, да? Именно DLS для того Спайдермена. Вот. Где у нас сам Майлз Моралес, да? Был укушен мутирующим паучком. Вот. И теперь у Майлса Моралеса те же способности, что и у Питера Паркера. То есть у нас как бы второй Человек-паук во вселенной Человека-паука. Вот. Майлз носит немножко другой у нас костюм, да, как вы видите, черно-красный. И на ваше удивление, вот, на ваше удивление, Майлз Моралес борется с преступниками. Вот. Почему это делает Майлз Моралес, а не Питер Паркер, спросите вы? Да, потому что Питер Паркер уехал в отпуск вместе со своей возлюбленной Мэри Джейн в Симкарию. Вот. У Майлса тоже умер отец, который говорил... В общем, истории идентичные. Да? У Майлса умер отец в теракте. Он был полицейским, он умер в теракте. Вот. И Паркер постоянно твердил Майлзу о том, что он должен, типа, стать героем Нью-Йорка. Вот. Возвращаться Питер, я думаю, не планирует. Питер точно. Питер, я покажу тебе Питер, я покажу тебе стикер, да? Знаете, так говорится. Вот. И Питер точно не возвращается. Не собирается. По крайней мере, история об этом умалчивает. Вот. Так вот, о чем же у нас Майлз Моралес? Майлз переезжает в Гарлем. Это район, где корпорация Rexon решает вопросы с электроэнергией. Вот. Секунду, ребята. Я еще включаюсь. Дайте минуту. Нет, есть несколько поколений Человека-паука. И в разных поколениях у него разные возлюбленные. Вот. В разных поколениях у него разные враги, и разные есть Evolution, Человек-паук, Evolution Marvel вообще. Разные вселенные Marvel есть. Вот. Да, не поколение, а вселенной, все верно. Это я просто после покемонов у меня только поколение, понимаете? После 3 часовых покемонов у меня поколение. Вот.
Krieger doesn't get much love. You can pretty much skip almost all his cinematics too.
Так вот, есть, короче, вещество, ну, форм, называемое. Какое-то вещество, просто давайте будем говорить вещество, да? И на нем работает реактор, да? И начались перебои с электроэнергией. Вот. И в это время Майлз начинает войну с преступной группировкой, да, Underground, которая называется. Вот. Которая управляет так называемый умелец, да? Вот. Спойлер, под маской этого умельца скрывается подруга Майлза. Вот. Вот. Что у нас... Да. Что у нас по геймплею? По геймплею все так же, как в Spider-Man 2018 года. Мы прыгаем по открытому миру, который представляет собой Манхэттен, да? Современный Манхэттен, вот. Естественно, мы можем использовать паутину, потому что мы Человек-паук, как мы Человек-паук, и не можем использовать паутину. Сейчас вы, кстати, видите на экране, как мы улучшаем различные скиллы, да. Вот. То есть мы перемещаемся по открытому миру, у нас есть side mission, main mission, то есть основные миссии, дополнительные миссии. Мы можем сделать все, там, ради ачивок, не ради ачивок, ради того, чтобы получать валюту, с помощью которой мы можем качать скиллы, да. Вот. Мы можем уходить в невидимость. Да, Майлз Моралес может уходить в невидимость, да. Мы можем бить врагов электричеством. Конечно, костюмчики можно снять. Куда ж без костюмчика? Вот. И многие другие способности по ходу игры мы разблокируем как раз при помощи той ветки, которую вы видели на экране. Вот. Вот. Что вам еще рассказать про игры? Вот. Я не знаю, видели вы, как мы боремся с носорогом, потому что в этой игре он боролся с носорогом, но это в начале самой игры, вот. Насчет скипов не могу сказать точно, но знаю, что некоторые сайды выполняются для получения каких-то определенных скиллсов. Вот.
So this you're still time gated a little bit until this comes down. Regardless of how hard Miles is trying to interface with this. They're definitely fans of Metal Gear Solid, like the box reference. And then the microwave hallways, which is, this is the first one in the game. No button mashing during this, which I would have definitely taken a quick time event. How great would it have been if they had like a track and field pad for this stuff? Old Snake had to work a little bit harder to crawl his way through this style of room.
Да. Поскольку ран у нас более сюжетный, вот, здесь... Таких приемов, да, спидранерских особо нету. Мы в основном просто летаем по сайд-миссиям. То есть... Ран даже можно назвать гличлесс раном. Вот. Одного из нового врага сейчас видите, это щитовик из той самой корпорации Rexon. Вот.
That was odd.
Жук-щитовик. Да, вот мы сейчас проводим серии атак, да, в воздухе.
Yeah, I don't think I actually retained the finishers.
И благодаря того, что у нас выкачана электрическая паутина, там раз через раз наносится электрический урон.
It's the only time you really fight co-op with someone.
Брат-братишка. Это Ганку, по-моему, зовут его.
This guy is absolutely the top priority.
Ну, потому что новые AAA проекты, они крайне казуальные. И никогда не заметишь, что ты играешь в какую-то сложную игру, честно сказать. Вот. Ну и плюс есть определенные билды, то есть когда мы играем в экшен RPG, все зависит много от нашего билда, а также и здесь, допустим. Много зависит от билда. Вот.
Bummer, come on, Uncle Aaron.
Я пытаюсь понять, где мы находимся, потому что сам я не играл в игру, я смотрел только прохождение. Вот. Я пытаюсь понять, где мы находимся. Вот.
Alright, sweet, that's the end of that. That room is actually like kind of nasty. You can land on some of that Roxxon stuff. And then it just spirals, because then you can't use Venom powers. You can heal through it, but not being able to use Venom on like some of those enemies is just brutal. And I think it suppresses your healing a little bit too. It's already kind of limited. If you heal raw on like a New Game Ultimate, you just don't get that much off of like the bar. There's actually an upgrade I'll take later on where you can regen health on hit while enemies are Venom stunned. And that's like a way better use because you're still dealing damage while healing yourself. There's time for donations here. There's still another like 30 seconds of this cutscene.
None at the moment, but I wouldn't mind reminding everyone that they do have merch.
В общем, мы с вами сейчас восстановили работу поездов. Да.
The official ESA Summer 21 shirt and hoodie. И
мы сейчас возвращаемся на Восточный Гарлем. Вот. Спайдермен, ну, он же не Питер Паркер, поэтому тут историю можно самому как угодно придумывать. Вот.
The Prowler costume in this game is phenomenal. Miles can actually get his own if you do like his, I think, 10 side quests about the city that he has later on. Not quite enough time to do it on this run, unfortunately.
Вот, сейчас мы возвращаемся на Восточный Гарлем, где мы будем использовать различных дронов. Спойлеры.
So another free roam section here. There are a couple of spots. Pretty much after this, I have almost everything I need in terms of like time capsules and like activity tokens. Little odd if Spider-Man just jacked something from your.
Честно вам скажу, от вселенной Марвел не осталось больше ничего, да? Что вообще было. Вот. Поэтому тут сложно осуждать. Вот. Я думаю, что они владельцы, они имеют право на как угодно переписывать историю.
Sweet. Yeah, Miles' best plan is just lying to people for quite a bit of this.
Чисто маршрутный момент.
Turns out so poorly for a while. Genki's definitely the man of reason in this. Miles is also a fan of Dante and Virgil, as you'll see here. Bizarre. Usually you can web zip like right there. There you go. Ooh, this J. Jonah Jameson stuff you have to watch out too. Painful on these runs. I had no idea the first time I was running this, or not the first time, several times after. Like those J. Jonah Jameson interrupts and
Он
even like
хотел
the Xanagas,
сейчас
I think.
кусочком тела
They can actually like
забрать
delay the
капсулу,
prompts for the
но у
next
него не получилось, и
missions.
пришлось за ней ползти. Вот.
I feel like some of the crimes can do it too, but that's harder to avoid.
Okay, I gotta do it. Call Finn, get her to let me in the underground.
Hey, Miles. You okay?
Yeah. Why would you say that?
Oh, I saw the news about your mom's rally.
We're fine.
Like a hair late. This is another one of those conversations you can actually skip
There's the place on Edison, near Fisk Tower.
if you're like fast enough to get there, but sometimes it's better off just letting it ride out. You have to do it at least 4 times for it to actually like reset and give you the prompt. It can be as few as 2, but generally it's 4. At least the luck I have on these.
Cool.
There we go.
I was really glad you called. I needed a break.
Another couple minutes of cutscenes. Then from here on out, it's pretty good action. They definitely throw in most of the 52 minutes in the first half of the game.
Не понимаю, где мы
And most
находимся.
of these fights just build on top of each other. If there's any donations or other incentives coming up.
Well, we do have some prizes that people can be entered to win if they decide to donate. For example, we have a couple of monitors from ViewSonic, which you can be entered to win with a cumulative minimum donation of $25 and $35. So if you're looking to take your gaming setup to the next level, get in some donations and you might be entered to win one.
I'm really sorry your mom got hurt at her rally. If that new Spider-Man hadn't shown up, everyone would have been fine. Please don't try to talk me out of this.
We also have the Skylar and Plux Adventure on Clover Island character model bid war right now, which is coming up in a few hours. You can choose between the default character model, Samus, or Sonic, with Sonic currently in the lead with $55. So that is all up to you all making these donations to save the children right now.
What's the real reason?
The real reason is...
Да, на Ютубе играть все гораздо, а покупать консоль тоже.
Finn is pretty oblivious, to be fair.
Последняя PlayStation, что у меня была, это 3.
Especially after the
Вот.
next section where it's like painfully obvious what's
Не
going on.
осуждаю.
So most of this run is like completely glitchless. There's like a few small time saves. The biggest one is coming up right when we get outside here. Spider-Man had a fantastic tutorial on it. Saves about 20 seconds if you execute it properly.
Сейчас Райнер рассказывает о том, что Ран не имеет вообще каких-то гличей, то есть мини... Очень мало моментов, где мы сохраняем время, и то небольшое. То есть весь ран похож на гличлess ран.
Yeah, this game looks gorgeous. This will be this entire game like Miles Morales, New York City in the winter. It's right up there with like Freeze Easy Peak for me and like Banjo, like all-time snow levels. We're just pleasant to like roam around in. This game will probably be like a holiday fixture, like every year for me.
How'd you get involved in all this? The underground, the Tinkerer.
Tinkerer's a nod to my role. I built everything. The masks, the weapons.
Programmable matter.
Right. The underground.
The worst bug I had, she actually got stuck here, which was painful. So I had to reload and took like all the cutscenes. Has not happened on the last few patches though. I think Insomniac cleaned it up. This game actually was like quite buggy early on, but it's gotten much better, much more stable since. Knock on wood. I'm not chancing that. Alright, so the trick is right up here. Instead of crossing this crane all the way, you can kind of
Фин,
have
да? Фин, фин,
Miles just
фин.
fall off the edge, and he'll just warp over there.
Ну, поскольку игра молодая, то Иран очень молодой. Вот. Игре полгода. Вот. Игре полгода. Вот. И не все успели это пройти еще, а про Иран, ну, говорить глупо. Вот.
R.I.P. Oh man, I've practiced that so much too, and you got to go through that slow walk and talk the entire time. Not a huge loss. If I could just reload it, it wouldn't be too bad. But you have to go back through the slow walk again. It's just not even worth it. Even if you hit it, it's like still it's more of a time loss than this. Bummer. So that's 20-second loss off the PB, but can get it back here with like some clean fights. It would have been better if Miles was dead weight.
Krieger's saying you stole a shipment. I stole one canister.
So here they've all taken over Fisk Tower while he's in jail from the events of
что произошло?
Spider-Man 2018. And apparently, like, these guys have like utterly blasted the Martin Lee gang, which I feel like
Понятно.
there are more problem enemies in Spider-Man 2018.
Оторвалось у нас это.
Although these sword dudes are pretty nasty.
Короче, мы сейчас с Фин, да, спустились в Чайнатаун, да, и мы находимся в одной из лабораторий Роксон. Вот. Мы, короче, шпионаж у нас. Вот. Произошел шпионаж.
This whole area reminds me of like the Foot Clan section in like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Стоп или нет, это не то, я не то говорю.
All they're missing is like a
Не лаборатория Роксон. Что я говорю? Зачем я это говорю? Почему я это? Нет.
The arcade, yeah. Did the arcade actually have like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game in there? I haven't watched that movie in forever. I feel like it did.
All I remember it having was Narc. If anybody happens to remember that old game, it's like one of those run and gun games.
Dude, did that not go? We're good. Oh my god, this one didn't go. Bummer. Painful way to lose like another 10 seconds, but you got a chance to make it up with like legitimate skill later.
В общем, сейчас завершится вот это выступление. Стримфест, да. Нет, это подполье. Это организация Underground, подполье, да? Будем называть его Underground. Вот, русский Underground, йоу. Вот, сейчас вот это выступление все закончится, и мы переоденемся в Человека-паука, и нам нужно будет с этим всем подпольем сразиться. Вот.
Even then, it's still like pretty difficult because there are snipers everywhere. But they're not really like the one-shot snipers. They're like the
Ганки говорит, что время переодеваться. Вот. Сейчас мы скипаем катсцену переодевания. Вот, переодеваемся в Человека-паука и... Вот. Мы скипнули катсцену, где был взрыв. Вот. Вы, естественно, этого не видели, не слышали. Я называю такие вещи чекпоинт-брейками, да? Когда мы ломаем чекпоинты.
So yeah, stealthing most of these snipers helps dramatically, because otherwise you're just like dodging like non-stop. fun fight, but not ideal and not really conducive for.
Здесь взорвало, как видите, здесь место взрыва,
speed
да?
or survival.
Вот. Нам нужно здесь убить всех врагов в перчатках. То есть у них их перчатки. Их перчатки. В общем, не спрашивайте меня, зачем перчатки, вот просто нужно уничтожить врагов в перчатках.
That was definitely not the script, but this could work out. Yeah, beautiful.
А может, charge и не хотите... Вот. Перчатки напоминают мне персонажа Вай, легенд. То есть у них они в ближнем бою очень сильные. Потому что они очень сильные в ближнем бою, и они нам будут мешать. Вот. Здесь достаточно много врагов, вот. Кто-то стреляет, кто-то атакует, но враги в перчатках, которые увеличиваются, они крайне мощные и наносят очень много дэмэджа. Вот. Даже с выстрелов не наносят столько урона, сколько эти чуваки с перчатками. Вот. После того, как мы всех уничтожим... Да. Врагов, кстати, называют браулерами. Крушители.
I think I died twice on that room. It's crazy. If executed properly, it's like a minute and a half.
What does that mean?
That wasn't even exactly the script. Usually I can take out like another 3 or 4 before we even get started.
Yeah, gotcha. I'm looking. Hey, I think I got something.
Cool if I fit in a donation real quick.
Yeah, go for it. Definitely got time.
We have $25 from Paul Sr. saying, "What is this? Romper room?"
Oh my god.
That's great.
Oh man.
And they put that towards the Majora's Mask All Dungeons SRM Showcase.
That should be a good one. Love Majora's Mask. A lot of great games, a lot of great runners throughout this ESA. All I know is my phone screen time is going to go way up this week.
You knew this would be dangerous. It's the deal we made.
But if we're getting sick too?
You can't hack it, you can get out. The underground doesn't have time for weaklings.
You hearing this? Uniform is making the
We also have $10 from We3 Monks saying, "Wanted to donate during this great run. Thanks to everyone for making this another great ESA." And they too put that towards the Majora's Mask All Dungeons SRM Showcase.
We're not sure if the canister's safe.
Sweet, thank you guys for the donations.
Hot, buzzing, like it's unstable.
It's that new Spider-Man. His powers messed with the structure. Tell everyone not to touch it.
They're hideouts. Uniform's gotta be in one of them.
So this sequence is pretty great. I don't know how this doesn't happen to Miles like the entire time here.
We don't know enough about this stuff. What it is, where it came from.
As much of the like Spider-Man animated series I used to watch, and like the comics I read in like the mid-90s. The explanation for not every like piece of paper sticking to his hand at all times. I don't know. This is the only time it comes up. And Finn still doesn't put it together.
Стелс-элементы. Вот.
At this point.
Прилипнули к листочку.
Even though it's like the only stranger that was invited to the Roxxon Underground. Probably because I botched the skip on the crane. Otherwise, she would have been real suspicious.
I need power. Generators, car batteries, whatever you
So one more Venom power, which is really fun to use. You get right here on this one. On the earliest patch, I actually had him stuck fully in runner's stance, like he was the Flash with nowhere to go for like 30 seconds. Had to just restart it. Right here.
Сейчас объясню, почему почему Человек-паук Майлз Моралес имеет афроафриканские корни, да, как и другие персонажи в игре, потому что игра посвящена актеру Черной Пантеры, которая... Ну, Черную Пантеру. Все знают тут, что такое Черная Пантера. Вот. И он погиб. Тоже полгода назад, буквально за несколько месяцев до выхода игры, погиб этот актер, да, который сыграл Черную Пантеру. Вот. И честь, ну, в честь него, так скажем, выпущена игра. Поэтому представьте, что это Черная Пантера. Вот. А не потому, что толерантность или еще что-то. Как все вокруг думают. Ну, почитайте, сами почитайте.
Until he's done with his spiel there, which you can almost get there on time, but if you just warp there, it takes you right into the cutscene immediately. It's like a much bigger radius to just activate the next section. So on this section, you got to take out 4 generators once. Pretty nasty. I actually got the route from Dutch Potato. Shoutouts to
Это не шутка.
all the
Я
Spider-Man
не шутил.
runners and moderators, Burke Maverick, Dutch Potato Pestilence. They're ridiculously god tier
Я
Spider-Man
не
runners.
шутил.
Rebel Dragon, Spider-Man. Put in some good work on this game too.
Я рассказываю
This
вам о
run in
фактах.
itself is a pain to actually like moderate. Just because of the nature of not using like the bonuses, not using like gravity well at all.
Я никогда не шучу. Я всегда серьезен. Вот. Сейчас вы можете поближе были наблюдать этого браулера. До этого вы его не могли видеть. Вот сейчас вы видели этого браулера, у которого обычные перчатки получаются такие вот большие, как у Вай. Не Вай, Terra Online еще можно, с отсылку к Terra Online, там еще к чему-нибудь. Да, много где были эти браулеры, перчатки, да. Здесь у нас с научной фантастикой крайне клишированные все вещи, вот, потому что тяжело что-то придумать, что-то новое.
Nice. And that is the benefit of choosing like hold instead of on the accessibility options.
Нет, отсылка к Terra Online тоже не отсылка. Но это, блин, нет, в смысле, можно подумать. Я просто говорю, можно подумать, это не отсылка. В Terra Online был браулер. С этими, с двумя этими. Ну, естественно, Insomniac Games не будут делать отсылку к Terra Online. Ну, это даже звучит глупо. Я про то, что браулеры были в Terra Online, и все. Не казан, а казаняш. Это первое. Второе. Ран несложный, вот. Если первый час, который я пропустил, он не умирал. Да, крушитель. Браулер — это крушитель, да, в русской версии. Вот. Если он первый час не умирал, то вполне всего успевает. Я думаю, что можно обсуждать Человека-паука, а не сам факт существования Terra Online. Мы сейчас говорим про Человека-паука. Вот. То есть вообще вся игра состоит из того, что это слэшер. Многие Человеки-пауки и вообще игры по Marvel — это чистейшие слэшеры. Вот. Просто игры по мультивселенным, да, таким по DC-шным, по Marvel делается только для того, чтобы люди почувствовали больше интерактива. Так как кино не совсем интерактивный досуг, а игры являются более интерактивным досугом. Вот. Поэтому и делаются игры слэшеры, чтобы люди могли пощупать те способности, которые они видят на экране. или читают в комиксах. Вот.
Not quite as fast as I'd like,
Ну,
but still.
слэшер не обязательно должен быть меч. Я имею в виду слэшер-элементы.
They're pretty generous on
Близко
the
к сердцу
checkpointing there
все
too, though.
слова
I think
принимаете,
they'll actually give you the
господи.
ones that you've already done.
Вот.
You don't have to start from scratch, but still.
Здесь простая миссия, мы должны
Like
были
major
просто
time
разрушить генераторы. Да, вот кто будет ставить генераторы, да, на другой крыше
It's a lot of collateral damage. I never realized that was in here.
к своему убежищу, да? Отсылка на Devil May Cry. Вообще, да. Мне нравится эта локация.
So in here, Miles gets to play electrician.
Здесь,
for the
здесь
second time.
отсылка к Тиф, да.
Third, actually.
Вот сейчас у нас отсылка к Тиф, да. Вот.
This one's not too bad. I have no idea what Peter would have done.
Вот. Тут спидран элемент, то есть мы запускаем катсцену и можем просто ее как бы скипнуть. Во многих современных AAA проектах сейчас есть возможность скипнуть любую катсцену. Даже если она завязана на движке игры. Хотя сейчас все катсцены завязаны на движке игры. Если вы вспомните хоть одну сейчас игру, где катсцена не на движке игры, то вы молодец. Про какое-то интерактивное кинцо мы вообще не говорим, это не игры. Ой, ой! Ну, мы пока про борщевиков не начали шутить, поэтому ладно. Вот. Это, по крайней мере, это не покемоны. Тут есть экшен, можно зачем-то понаблюдать. То есть веб-шуты. Вот что такое веб-шуты? Я думаю, понятно, что такое веб-шуты, remote mine, да? Вот. Remote mine это такой стелс-элемент, то есть мы его устанавливаем, и у нас паучье чутье срабатывает, когда наступают на эту мину, да? Веб-шут это понятно, это просто выстрел паутиной, большой выстрел паутиной, вот. Вот. Ну, классика это классика. Я говорю про современные AAA проекты. Нет. Вот. Вы говорили, вот, пожалуйста, вам один... О, мы умерли, кстати. Такое бывает. Вот. Но тут чекпоинты очень быстро обновляются. Тут могут быть чекпоинты посреди файта, то есть... Да. Игры становятся все казуальнее и казуальнее, нам не нужно миллион врагов снова перевтыкать. Вот. То есть просто... Еще у нас такие есть называемые финишеры, да, вот как... Финишеры это то же самое, что... Давайте, если у нас весь рам на сравнениях, то давайте финишеры будет это X-Ray в Mortal Kombat, да? Ну это какая-то просто атака, которая... Буст-атака, которая накапливается, да? За счет нашего количества комбо. То есть чем больше мы комбо делаем, тем у нас быстрее накапливается наш финишер. Вот. Я не хейчу покемонов, я обожаю покемонов. X-Ray да ё-моё. Ё-моё. Заканчиватель. Ой. Вообще-то я не имею права разговаривать с чатом. Я смотрю игру. Remote mine, которая у нас, кстати, прокачана на то, чтобы бить электричеством. Ну, это какая-то небольшая... Remote mine, которая у нас прокачана на то, чтобы бить электричеством. Вот. Ну, вы видели, да, как он кидает Remote Mine. Кстати, у нас очень достаточно много веб-шутов прокачано. Вначале их вроде всего 4, вот. И они очень быстро накапливаются. Как быстро тратятся и быстро накапливаются. Это тоже можно все прокачать в скиллсах. Там, на самом деле, большая очень ветка. Вот. Игра вообще очень реиграбельная, вот, потому что, ну, вообще игры с открытым миром крайне реиграбельные сейчас, да. Инфеймусы там всякие, вот, 18-го года Паук. Вообще 18-го года Паук это самый Infamous
Remote mod on them
в мире
too.
Marvel.
Because you can usually generate like 1 or 2 back depending on how it goes.
Так вот, Remote Mine прокачана на
That's a really
распылитель, так
nasty
скажем,
area.
электричества, да? Осколочное электричество. Мы кидаем, и оно раскалывает электричество. Еще и получается все срабатывает. Вот. И при помощи нее мы, кстати, разбиваем щиты. Вот. Все такое. Ну, тут какой-то нереальный мувмент происходит вообще. То есть он ставит мину, ждет, пока она распылится, нажимает паузу, и она взрывается. Пока он нажмет эту паузу, она взрывается. Вот. Он расходит, атака врага не прошла, а его атака прошла. И в итоге он не получает урона, и чел щитом просто улетает. Вот.
It's still on pace for roughly 3 hours, which is still, I would have signed for that last week for sure.
Ну, это у нас, кстати, Рин. Да. Сюжетный тоже элемент, да?
This is about the only chase sequence. I kind of love the chase sequences they had in the classic Neversoft like Spider-Man 2000. Venom, and then the final boss was actually like a chase. They throw in the Avengers Tower so much, I feel like so oblivious for never noticing it in the first couple times playing through the game.
Hey, Genki. Ran into Finn. What's happening? She grabbed the new form. I'm chasing her across Manhattan.
Сейчас нам нужно ватку пухнуть. Вот.
Unfortunately, with this one, there's not really too much you can do to speed it up.
Вот.
And here you see the Venom Dash mobility, which is, you'd see a ton of it on like New Game Plus, but here it's just like very sparingly used. Without being able to convert your like camouflage into Venom power, it's a little trickier to actually get like air tricks going.
По сути, это агент под прикрытием.
Plus, in a lot of cases, I kind of want to save the Venom just for like the start of the next battle. They let you carry it over quite a bit.
А ранее почему-то сравнивает постоянно все с Веномом. Я вот не знаю, как и почему, но... Вот я весь спидран буду сравнивать все с чем-то, да, а ранее все сравнивать с Веномом. Все основывается на сравнениях, да? Отсылка к отсылке. Весь мир — это отсылка к теории Большого Взрыва. Как он так? Урыл? Урыл. Вот. Сейчас мы находимся в погоне за тем самым человеком под прикрытием, да? Ну, это умелец. Помните, я рассказывал про умельца? Ну, это, по сути, новый антагонист. Вот, коих не было ни в комиксах, ни в чем. То есть просто придумали сейчас, да. То есть это у нас обычный раннмап. Мы просто бежим, уклоняемся и все остальное. Интерактивчик. Максимальное количество интерактивчиков. Да. Да. Вот. Это умелец, да.
If you love Batman vs Superman, here's your Marvel.
Тинкер. Ну, почему-то Тинкер. На русском умелец. Вот. Тинкер.
Got time for donations if there are any.
Опачки. Сюжетная разведочка. Ну, я говорил, что это фильм раньше, но это спойлер был. Хотя там игра сама заспойлерила. Всё. Вот. То есть, по сути, Финн не знал, что Человек-паук — это Человек-паук, а Человек-паук знал, что Финн — это умелец. Вот.
Out of 1,000, which is the goal. So keep those donations coming if you want to see the SRM showcase for Majora's Mask.
So here's another free roam section. Not too much left. And after this, I can pretty much afford everything I got. Everything I'd absolutely like need for it.
Just everything. Are you free?
I can wrap up what I'm doing. Call you in a few.
Thanks, man. Talk to you soon. I have no idea where Finn is. Or the new form. Guess I should kill some time till Uncle Aaron's free.
По сути, скоро финал. Ну как скоро финал? Не скоро финал, конечно. Но мы выполнили большую часть обычных миссий. Ну, мы выполняем только обычные миссии. Сейды-то... В спидране не используются сейды. Абсолютно не используются. Вот. Вообще, умелец, да, Тинкерер, да, то самое, она использует большое количество атак различных. Вот. Вы наблюдали пилы, да, до этого она еще ракеты кидала, вот. Очень много всего. То есть, по сути, все очень-очень-очень-очень сильно фантастично. Гиперфантастично. Хайпер-поп в моде же, вот, хайпер, все, хайпер. Хайп на хайпе. Хайпер, хоп. Да, вот так вот будем называть его. Футуристик. Хайпер-футуристик.
Free unadvertised hot dogs right in the area. Personal record is 8 in one day. It was before a day Mets game, actually, so it's almost like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's the way I'll justify it.
Ой.
Pretty much the greatest place on earth. If you... Ooh, I hope that crown doesn't jam me up. That's kind of random. So Prowler should be calling you like right here. If you're a little late, you actually see him like calling on the phone, and it costs you like 20 seconds. I think we're good. You should get in line with like the middle smokestack here onto this pier. Yeah. Not suspicious at all, that phone call.
All right, Miles. Spill it. Give me the whole situation.
Finn, Roxxon, Underground. It's just a lot, you know?
You're 17. You're stressed. And you're a superhero. You gotta cut yourself some slack. You still making beats?
Not much since I started this.
Work-life balance, kid. Most important thing.
Little bump we never got a Prowler DLC for this.
Little project your dad and I
Or Finn, for that matter. I feel like their power sets would have been really fun to go with.
How come I never heard about this?
Because we never finished.
And that suit looks immaculate on this.
Wanted the city to be our beat. But your dad had the masters. And after things went bad between us. But you can finish
Or Genki. No. All you can do is those like spectrometer missions from Spider-Man 2018.
I could see that.
Yep.
Load that up. I'll walk you through it. I'll set up holograms to guide you.
Alright, so pick this one up, and then it's a little finicky about how it like tutorializes you here.
Focus on sounds. Clear my head.
Scan the holograms and it'll unlock files on that drive I gave you. You figure
There you
out
go.
what sound you're looking for. There you go. Yeah, that's it.
Alright, there's a slight skip there that I actually got. It does save about a little over 5 seconds. They show you like all the locations in the city on the map. If you press triangle right as it starts to fade, you can actually like bypass that. So technically this isn't glitchless. I don't think it was glitchless once that guy went through the pavement though.
I know what to do about Finn. I gotta see her. Try to talk her out of all this.
In person? Where?
Yeah, it's good that you avoid these audio missions because one of them is actually the hardest mission in the game where you have to sneak up on a bunch of birds.
Yeah, that one took me an uncomfortable amount of time to figure out.
Someone should.
defeated like the final 2 bosses in less time than it took to figure out how to like manipulate the birds to actually get the
Yep.
sound properly.
Yep, absolutely.
What actually happened between you two?
It was complicated. You were too
Although when you got to look stuff up like that, you don't feel quite as dumb when it's like the top hit on like Google when you enter in like three characters.
Yeah.
It fills it in for you.
M-I-L, Miles Morales. How do I get
Yeah,
the
it's
sounds of the
first one
birds?
for sure.
Yeah.
Trinity Church. Remember, the Tinker is yours, but leave the boy alone.
At the 2-hour mark now, still on pace for 3 hours, which would be like the 3rd best run that's been done on this, outside of the one from like yesterday and today. But there's still room for improvement later. The final 2 boss fights were relatively sloppy, and those are quite the display on this. As close as you get to like a proper character action game like Devil May Cry. They did a great job with them.
Rest of the sounds you need are spread across the city.
All right, so this fast travel is way quicker here. I actually routed this section in real life with Mrs. Scarn a few months ago in the city. Trinity Church is like right where it says it is too. The only thing I'll point out is that when we get there, the ground is actually sloped on like the right side of this. It's not completely flat like this.
Hi.
Because you can't even like see over that edge.
Hey, we need to talk.
But yeah, the modeling on this, insane. Looks so good.
Lie to me again?
So I can make this right.
When she says she can lie to me again, that's another one where you can just skip the conversations. And 4 skips. Going back and forth, activating, deactivating the side mission. We'll just cut off the rest of that. Probably saves you about like a good 25 seconds. That's one spot where you can get interrupted with like a J. Jonah Jameson like podcast, and it plays for like 3 minutes, and I was like completely dumbfounded the first time I had it, until I had like a 3-minute gold split, and I was like, oh, so that's what that was. Time for donations here. There's a couple more minutes of cutscenes.
Oh, I'm just going to let everyone know that with 25,000 dedicated staff all over the world, Save the Children responds to major emergencies, delivering innovative programs, and ensuring children's voices are heard through our campaigning to build a better future for and with the children. Their bold ambition builds on 100 years' experience of bringing communities, civil society, governments, businesses, and donors together to achieve lasting change for children.
Why'd you pick here?
I'll go ahead and let everyone else know that we do have an incentive or a bid war for the Super Smash Bros. Melee blindfolded adventure mode, where you get to choose the blindfold that the runner's going to wear. We have a black penguin, a brown bear, and a white cat. Oh, and a white seal. So get your donations in. Currently, they are all tied. So get your donations in. You get to choose what they wear on their face during the run.
That's going to be great. Still a lot of great runs to come, for sure. So the biggest shocker, well, no pun intended, Rhino isn't just a tutorial jobber boss in this game. He gets a ridiculous upgrade here. He's actually like fairly challenging. Not quite as much as the final 2 bosses, but he's finally making amends for being a punching bag like the last 20-something years of Spider-Man games. And once again, Simon Krieger gets skipped like immediately. I like this room. Finn takes no damage, even though she's like 3 feet away.
Whoa.
Thankfully, the range is not that bad later.
Are you okay? They were gonna kill you. Holy shit.
Tougher than I look, huh?
Miles does take an absolute beating in this game. Finn gets him a couple times. Rhino. Does random underground guys in this run anyway.
You okay?
Swords are always OP in every game.
I'm shutting off security cams. Can you check that computer? What did you find?
So temporary truce between Finn and Miles again at this point in the story. Considering they gotta break out of this place.
First, we need to escape the security wing. I'll go down to the floor, see what we're dealing with.
Considering they both got destroyed by Rhino, I'll be hightailing out of there too.
Door's locked.
Venom worked in the cell.
RIP sound for this one section. There you go. If you're fast enough, it gets jacked up.
I'm headed to the floor.
Right above you.
And here I'll take some of the last full upgrades. I should have full gadgets after this. And suit upgrades, we'll go back to this just for kicks. I'm gonna grab a residual venom. Ooh, actually, you know what? Let me take this first. Increasing area effective venom smash is actually like really good. So is this venom dash launcher. You'll see that quite a bit. And I gotta leave 3 skill points, otherwise it actually like violates the new game run using like pre-order bonuses. This room is pretty nutty too.
Так, я тут, надеюсь. Так, вы сейчас видели, как Финн присоединилась за нашу часть, наверное, да? И тут уже была зона с носорогом, я не помню, здесь где-то была зона с новым красным носорогом, да? Вот, мы сейчас попадаем в лабораторию, где у нас враги, многие видят. То есть невозможно пройти просто по стелсу, потому что тут их типа улучшили, да? Хайперфутуристик.
What's that?
Ну, я предполагаю, я надеюсь, что это та зона с носорогом новым. Вот, вроде как. Потому что я вижу красных врагов, значит, носорог где-то, ну, должен быть здесь, наверное. Вот. И я работаю с 3 мониторами, поэтому я ран все равно левым глазом вижу. Вот. Вот, враги здесь, не получится пройти просто так зону эту по стелсу, потому что здесь враги видят вас и чувствуют. Как вы чувствуете их по общим чутьем, так и они чувствуют вас. Вот. На них синие визоры, их легко
There's some oddball stuff with that too. In New Game Plus, you see it quite a bit with because you get a free one.
Я слишком многозадачен. Я очень многозадачен, поэтому я могу делать. У меня еще глаза есть. Судя по тому, сколько требований ко мне, у меня, видимо, еще один глаз есть.
Extra lives almost out of it. If you like dodge right when you would have died, it cancels the recovery on that, and you still retain it like next time you get hit.
Не совсем 3 монитора. 2 монитора и рабочий ноутбук. Ну, это то же самое, я думаю. I think. Вот. Мы разобрались с противниками, и Финн нашла путь к отступлению. Вот. Сейчас мы вместе с ней уходим. Да?
Restarting this checkpoint is another Dutch potato skip. Gets Finn up ahead a little bit, saves a few seconds.
Да, я паук. Паук. Не паук, а паук. Будем милее, добрее, потому что мы несем любовь и мир. Как паук несет только добро, мы тоже будем нести только добро. Здесь тут небольшая головоломка, нам нужно соединить электрические генераторы с
I definitely will not admit how long it took me the first couple times, especially on a run.
с этими крюками, чтобы они функционировали. Вот, так как наша паутина электролизована, вот это не составляет трудности.
None of that here, thankfully.
That's our way out. Give me a few minutes to get it open.
Looks like they guessed our plan.
Not hard. There's only one exit.
All right. I'll take care of those guards. You get that door open.
Не захотел. Вообще-то во вселенной Марвел никто не умирает. Вот. Все отправляются в рай к Таносу или Галактикусу. Теория. Галактикуса, да. Отправляется только в вселенной. Вселенной Марвел нет. Все живы. Да.
Saying, "Hey, Scarn. Nexus here dropped in to say good luck on the run, and I'm really proud of you and all the hard work you've put in. Keep it up, buddy."
Thank you, Nexus. Thank you for your service as well, dude. Much appreciated, man.
Галактикусу пришел я сам. Как и ко всему, ко всем, как и ко всем мемным вещам в течение прошлого часа. Галактикусу пришел я сам. Опасные чуваки. Вот я о них рассказывал, да, они нас видят, чувствуют, поэтому тут нужно быть аккуратным со стелсом, вот.
And we have $15 from We Three Monks saying,
мы запускаем сейчас ремонт маны. Она, в принципе, бесшумная, поэтому мы легко расправляемся со всеми врагами. Уходим в инвиз, потому что у нас больше нет проблем с этими чуваками, с трехглазыми чуваками, как у... Блин, я опять говорю сравнениями. Ну, вы уж извините, но они похожи на вот эти очки у них, да, как будто ночного зрения, похожи на Том Клэнси, да, вот. Здесь ранее потерялся, куда-то делся, он просто под мостом был. Вот. Вот. Вы запускаете мину, ее как будто видят, знаете, как отвлекающий маневр. Много где могли встречать такие штуки, когда вы просто кладете мину, она как отвлекающий маневр, к ней подходят враги и взрываются. Пум. Вот. Ну, и же глупые. Вот. Итак, босс-файт. Не особо как бы и сложный, да. Вот. Пока носорог не активен. Вот. То есть как не активен? Есть момент, когда он не активен. Мы забираемся к нему на спину и разбиваем его об один из танков, да? Это его оглушает, и мы как бы дубасим его по голове. Вот. Пока мы дубасим его по голове, вот, он подсвечивается красненьким, да? То есть он оглушенный. Всю эту махинацию надо проделать несколько раз, потому что боевые машины на то и боевые машины, они не хотят как бы разрушаться, они как бы стоят и стоят себе, вот. Всего. И мы просто держим его между двумя тачками, да? И дубасим, дубасим и дубасим.
Nice, that was perfectly clean. That's exactly what I needed there.
Yeah.
Phase 2 is a little hairier. Kind of RNG dependent from what I can tell. You need him to throw all these at you, dodge them, and then energize them like we just did during the puzzle. Whoa, camera. It still worked out, though.
Вообще он швыряется, да, он швыряется, он умеет... Носорог у нас сильный, он умеет швыряться, вот. И нам нужно здесь будет подобрать момент. Ну, нам вообще нужно, чтобы он один бронетранспортер разрушил, потому что нам нужен один из движков его, тех движков, да, которые заряжены, чтобы вот этот движок запустить в этого носорога. Вот. Видели, да, движок? Последний бронетранспортер. Нет, не последний, но предпоследний бронетранспортер. Да. Это, так сказать, фаза, да? Ну, то есть в босс-файтах у нас есть фазы. Кстати, бронетранспортеры появляются снова. Вот. Наносим мы биоудары обычные. Вот. Физическая атака. Биоудары. Вот. Это было, кстати, очень неплохо. Вот. Он как бы отменил анимацию атаки просто ближайшего стандартного врага Роксоны, да? К слову, Финн сейчас сражается именно с ними, да? Пока мы деремся с Носорогом, Финн сражается с обычными рядовыми Роксоны. Вот. Вот. На самом деле, так как у нас хп-бара нету, мы не можем знать, сколько точно там нужно запустить в него этих движков бронетранспортерных. Вот. Ну, финал.
Yeah, we should be good anyway. I just need to stay away from the Roxxon soldiers, because they are the biggest problem here. It takes about 6 cycles of this, but if you have the bar, it just kind of fills itself. If you don't, though, this dude is so nasty. I was actually messing with this one right before the stream. One more. Nice.
That was awesome.
That was about as clean as I've ever done on Rhino.
Yeah, well done. That was awesome.
Thank you. Thanks, Kron. It takes a bit of luck with Roxxon like behaving as well, like especially on the first phase, but the rest is pretty solid. The next section of this is where the run gets really good.
Сейчас будет очень много касцен, мы вернемся домой, снова касцены. Да? Нет, на самом деле еще финальный босс. Ну и Тинкеры, то есть вот этот шутэмап, что мы бегали за Финн, да, когда она выпускала в нас свои атаки, тоже считается босс-файтом.
Time for more donations if you have any.
I'm not seeing any at the moment, but to all of you in chat who have or play Nintendo Switch, did you know that you can win a custom ESA themed Nintendo Switch Pro controller? That's right, you can. All you have to do is donate a total minimum of $30. That's not $30 in one donation. That is just a total cumulative minimum. You can do $5 now, $10 tomorrow, $15 the day after. As long as it all adds up to at least $30, you can be entered to win a fabulous ESA-themed Nintendo Switch Pro controller.
И в этот момент Финн объединяется с Человеком-пауком для борьбы с Роксон, потому что это намного... Да, говорю, что объединяется и...
Getting the Scott Fargus treatment from Ralphie.
Don't worry, you'll have an entire day to understand that reference if you don't know what it is yet.
I mean, it's a Christmas time period game, right? The one cutscene you can actually skip with
Тут очень запутанно, на самом деле. Тут любовный треугольник.
What I didn't realize until a couple runs ago is that Genki actually does have his own house, like away from here. They reference it in like another spot. He's literally over like 90% of the time in the game
всегда со мной. Не, гоблинский перевод я точно никогда не смогу. so hard for me.
Would have given him the permanent heave-ho once he spilled the pasta.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
That's never coming out of there. There's no way.
Вообще, Майлз Моралес достаточно маленькая Спайдермен. Намного меньше, чем 2018 года. С учетом того, что до 2018 года еще DLS выпускали.
JJJ. Thank you. Poor Teo's Bodega has been robbed about 30 times this run. As long as the cat's safe over there.
Ну, этот паук, он такой же. Они, ну, игры не отличаются, геймплейные игры не отличаются. Вот. Тут суть в сюжетной составляющей, то что, ну, любая игра Marvel должна быть сюжетной составляющей. Потому что, ну, когда у тебя мультивселенная основана на комиксах, вот, должна быть сюжетная составляющая. Геймплейные игры не отличаются. Летать все так же клево, стрелять все так же клево, дубасить кулачками все так же клево.
Please stand clear of the closing doors. That's great. You can actually hear that. They don't give you too much time to really mess around on this, unfortunately. But yeah, if the earlier times I ran this, I actually took more of the activity tokens, which makes some of these fights easier.
По сути, сейчас будет финальная цепочка миссий. Вот.
There you go. Get the spider sensor out right before your uncle blasts you. Uncles were definitely not as generous with the unlimited like MTA ride pass, but also not quite as hostile as this either.
Yeah.
So I guess you take the good with the bad. There you go. So this fight has 3 phases. Prowler has his rival cloaking tech, which is kind of a problem. You can only really get like 1 hit on him, even after like a perfect dodge, unless you hit him with like electric, whether from like the circuit board panels on the wall, or.
Кстати, будете наблюдать в научном центре разборно.
The other way is to actually like hit him with your venom powers, but he actually teleports out of it after like 3 or 4 hits, depending on the section. You can catch him with like your webs, which is also what you use on the final boss, to actually like extend the combos quite a bit. But other than that, yeah, there's not that much you can do to damage him. They do give you a decent amount of stuff sprinkled around there that you can draw venom from, though, however.
Ой, ну, если считать, то 2014-го около 8 часов мейн геймплея, то есть без сайд миссион. А этот паук вышел на 5-6 часов без сайд миссион. Вот. То есть, ну, считайте, где-то половину. 0,5, может, 0,7, вот так. Часа на 3 меньше. Плюс DLS еще полуторачасовое. То есть, вместе с DLS первый паук 18-го года, первый паук, почти на 10 часов тянет, без сайд миссий. Это такой умеренный, хороший казуальный геймплей. есть это не бесторопыжничество. Когда вы читаете все и все остальное. Финис хер, Риди.
Oh, baby. I'll try to pull him out of that. That one is basically a free dodge, however. Nice. That was really good.
В общем,
I actually messed up. I should have been doing more air tricks
этот
before,
чел
'cause I
не
didn't
похож
retain
вообще
the,
на что-то, с
Venom
чем мы
powers into
сражались
there. I could've
ранее,
gone in
потому
with,
что,
like, a full
по
bar
сути,
almost.
он с такими же разработками, как и вы, да? Проулер.
I
Вот.
made phase one a little bit more tough, more difficult.
Мы
than it should have
используем
been.
получшее чутье, реагируем на
But I did retain the
входящие
two,
наши
remote
атаки,
monster.
да? Используем
Phase
также
2
наши
and 3.
биоудары,
I may
вот.
actually get another, so it could be like 3. The key to
Вот.
this is actually
Потом
getting a
он
free
начнет
dodge.
кидаться гранатами, которые будут блокировать наше чутье.
These phases can last like 2 to 3 minutes each, even without like death, if you don't hit them right. Oh, baby. That was so good. I urge everyone to try this fight on like Raw New Game Ultimate, because he has so much health, especially before you get like level 14 with the extra 20% melee. But yeah, this is by far my
Вообще тут
favorite
есть
fight of the game.
генераторы вокруг нас.
Phase 3 is a
Если у
little
нас закончится
nasty, however.
энергия, мы можем
I guess every
побегать
good boss
и
has a doppelganger now. I love
зарядиться.
Virgil.
Потому что, поскольку мы зависим от электроэнергии, нам нужны вот эти гранаты. Это создает его копию, да?
Oh, baby. Oh.
Точно такие же почти способности, как у нас, только единственное, что мы умеем способности, мы умеем выпускать паутину. Да? Это как сражаться с копией.
Oh, camera. I was spamming so hard for the
Если Веном был более сильный физически, вот, то Человек-паук был более выносливый. Тут также. Тут более проулер более основан на технологиях. Вот.
Oh, baby.
Ну, естественно, клоуны клоны исчезают, и мы видим настоящего. Самая простая стратка — это подожить клонов и потом снова найти проулера. Вот. Но вот эта вот стратка с забитием его в угол, это, конечно, интересно.
Dude, I don't know how he's still alive. There we go, my god. That was still a sick fight. Not quite the best I've ever done. I think I've had it like 3 minutes and 5 seconds in practice, but like from start to finish, that was like ridiculously good for an actual run, let alone like in a marathon. I'm extremely happy with that. Almost made up for the sword shenanigans. That actually should cut a fair amount of time off my the record. We'll be safely under like 3-hour pace now. Time for donations after that if you got any.
Not at the moment, but I would just like to remind everyone that we do have some bid wars and incentives coming up. So, for example, you can donate to choose the difficulty for The Legend of Spyro, The Eternal Night, any percent. It'll either be easy or dark difficulty. You can also choose the character model that they're going to play as for Skylar and Pluck's Adventure on Clover Island, with the default model, Samus, and Sonic being the current choices. Of course, we still have the SRM showcase.
Мы должны снова подключать генераторы. Вся игра завязана на том, что мы что-то делаем с электричеством. Так что если в вашей хрущевке на Ленина 13 отключат свет, знаете, это был Человек-паук. Только не Питер Паркер, а Майлз Моралес. Да, вы хотели, чтобы я шутки в голове не оставлял? Вот, пожалуйста, шутка. Из головы.
That saved well over a minute and a half.
Блин, представляешь, если кто-нибудь из чата живет на Ленина 13? Вот. Что делать тогда?
So another like stealth section if you want it. However, going in loud is actually like pretty fast on ultimate, if not necessarily the safest.
Мы со всеми врагами разберемся, и у нас будет здесь электрический барьер, который нам нужно тут преодолеть.
Sword shenanigans.
Ну, точнее, вот вы видите этот научный комплекс. Чтобы в него попасть, нужно отключить электрический барьер. Чтобы отключить электрический барьер, нужно отключить все генераторы. Метроидвания.
Is like enemy aggression, enemy health, and damage for sure. They're still not maxed out though, but I don't think there's like an ultimate plus coming anytime soon.
Разбираемся со всеми врагами, да, своими ультраспособностями. Кстати, давно скиллсы не выкачивали. Ну, потому что они не требуются. На самом деле, там достаточно простой билд. Нужно максимально увеличить количество урона с обычной физической атаки, вот, которую бьем электричеством. Срок. И увеличить количество веб-шотов. Вот. За всю игру все, что нам нужно. Сейчас мы подключили, да, шарик к общей электроэнергии, да. Все это похоже на какой-то портал. Снова отсылки. Вот. Разрушаем различные генераторы, которые находятся в разных местах, чтобы подключить тот самый барьер, да. Вот. Но чтобы отключить генераторы, нам нужно подключить энергию к домикам с этими генераторами. Получается такая некий квест. Метроид квест, как его назвать. Принципиальный Талос, да, принципиальный Талос, точно. Весь Человек-паук — это самый большой референс. Один большой референс. Вот. Мы отключаем барьер, сейчас попадаем внутрь. Это вот с самого центра.
I gotta say that suit looks excellent in this game.
Тут
They did
будет
such a good job.
космическая
In
выставка.
Spider-Man 2018 they did as well. Alright, 2 cinematic skips here. And then we go
Tales
into
of
the
the
flashback
Principal.
section here.
Послушайте, ну, я бы вот насчет пятой PlayStation, я вот четверку скипнул, да? Я тройка. Четверку я скипнул. Вот пятый я бы взял. Знаете, почему пятый взял? Потому что Callisto Protocol. Вот. Только ради Callisto Protocol я бы потратил 60 тысяч рублей. И сколько она там сейчас стоит? В общем, если вы думаете, что нет людей, которые ради какой определенной серии или фанатизма от определенного режиссера взяли бы консоль, так вот есть, я бы взял. Только ради Callisto Protocol. Чё я вру, еще Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Точно. Уже 2 игры. Я уже 2 игры придумал. Вот, точно. Может, там еще новый Infamous завезут. Чё? Так, ну, мы здесь переоделись в туалете, пока никто не видел, и попадаем на космическую вышку, да? Космическую выставку, да. Опять хайпер-поп, футурист. Callisto Protocol не видит.
That's not creepy at all. Young Peter and Doc Ock. the most awkward, like,
Callisto
high schooler
Protocol разве выйдет на
with, like,
PC?
old man
По-моему,
scientist
я видел, что он
relationships with
разрабатывается сугубо для
Marty
консоли. Нет?
McFly and Doc
Если
Brown.
она выйдет на PC, то ты мне сейчас просто сломал все.
At least
Ты,
Doc didn't actively
ты
try to
сейчас
kill
сломал все
his
мое
aunt, at least.
представление, и я перехотел себе брать PlayStation 5. Ты только что обеспечил упадок
Where's she storing that the entire time,
Sony
too?
на 60 тысяч рублей на одну консоль, понимаешь?
Her palm.
Только что.
I mean, she
Что
does
ты
throw
наделал?
miles around pretty significantly. How about that flashlight lock?
В общем, короче, эта девушка, да, мы с ней встретились, и она нам помогает как бы пробраться.
ADT didn't approve that one.
Ох,
No wonder why Black Hat
как
had so much
сказать.
stuff in like the 2018 version. If everyone's just using like flashlight locks. It's a good thing prowlers at night do not carry any
Здесь
flashlights.
будет небольшая головоломка, да, где мы должны перемещать отражающиеся поверхности. Вот. Блин, я последний раз, когда смотрел Callisto Protocol, первую или вторую новость о ней, там было только консоли. Я вам вот все свои 19 оставшихся зубов отдам, если это неправда. Я не знаю, нужны ли вам мои 19 оставшихся зубов, но я точно помню, что Callisto Protocol выходила только на консоли. Вот.
They're really packing them in upstairs.
I was gonna say, wow, yeah. I could see why you need a ticket to get up there.
Yeah, it's sold out exhibit. I got time for another donation before the run really picks up.
Alright, I just want to let everyone know that we are at
Отдам зубы за пачку борщевиков.
$35. We are slowly inching our way towards that $36,000 mark. Keep those donations coming. They're going towards a great cause. That cause is Save the Children. And among other things, they work with communities to create safe and creative preschool environments to keep children
Два
well
верхних
fed and
передних
healthy,
зуба.
and to take teaching materials
Ребята,
into
вы
homes
вот
so the whole
начали
family can
разбирать мои
support
зубы,
child's education.
а я вам вот скажу, что я-то прав был. Вот. Так что, блин, я, конечно, не буду сейчас искать эту новость прекрасно, но пускай так и будет. Расхватали зубы мои, да. Ой, скоро у нас будет финальный босс.
It's only
Да,
3
самый
actual like,
мелец.
combat encounters left. 2 monster fights with
Папа.
like, every variety of goons they have in the game. And then 1 pretty good boss fight to close it out. Not quite as like fun as the Prowler, but still really good and different. These Hammer Bros are pesky. This is the one
Это
time they
не дядя Майлз. Дядя Майлз уже был.
So I gotta build at least a bar before I engage him.
В общем, ничего удивительного, да, вот мы сейчас будем сражаться со всеми врагами нашими, но вот та самая умелец, да, за которым мы будем сейчас гнаться, да, Финн, она будет использовать все способности, которые вы видели у врагов подполья. То есть вот мы сейчас сражаемся с врагами подполья, да, один там с щитом, с косой, там, да, броулер там с вот этими перчатками. Автоматчики, там, снайперы, вот, она будет использовать максимальное количество способностей всех своих подчиненных. Вот. Такие дела. Сейчас у нас обычный слэшер, то есть мы должны всех убить. Точнее, не убить, а никто не убивает. Оглушить. Вот. В Marvel's Исследовании никто не умирает. Вот. Оглушаем всех врагов, припаутиниваем их и даем отдохнуть, потому что они давно не были в отпуске по паутине. О, ребята, очень жарко, очень жарко. Сколько градусов? Это у меня очень жарко, очень жарко.
Ooh, that may cost me. I did not want that takedown. may be able to... Hold on. Nice. I had 2 bars built so I could actually take out the shield dude without any shenanigans there.
Проблема в том, что я живу в квартире, которую... Точнее, я живу вообще в провинциальном достаточно городке, где даже не устанавливают кондиционеры, поэтому да, у меня всего один вентилятор на квартиру, но сейчас им пользуются другие люди. Вот. Поэтому я пока так, только с воздушным охлаждением, но у нас ветер типа нет, куда-то делся ветер. Вот.
And take the last upgrade here. Last 2 upgrades, I should say.
Кстати, я бы очень хотел бы посидеть на Final Fantasy, но не знаю, к сожалению вашему или к счастью, следующие все игры до Final Fantasy буду я. Вот. Следующие 3 часа я весь ваш. И мои борщики. Если вы не против. Вот уже киша поют.
Miles Morales pro swinger.
Just need some sick grinds. Affectionately refer to this split as Big Apple 3 a.m. Actually, not that far from it, technically. In game and in real life, considering the time. Crazy. I gotta watch because there's a.
Ну, как и в любой принятой сейчас AAA проекте, концовка у нас это more action, more action, больше, еще больше экшена. Поэтому у нас здесь максимальное количество файтов. Если, как думает разработчик, вы не надрались за всю игру, то в конце вам выдаст.
Oh, no way, dude. Oh, I was about to activate Venom Blast. I don't even know what that was. That was so weird.
Oh my god.
I have no idea. Bummer. That was rolling pretty well, too.
Такое тоже случается. Ничего страшного.
Well, you see how quickly it turns on that. That was like one Roxanne thing I sat on.
Тут бывают разные просто рандом. Вот. То есть, если вы уже выучили movement, да, выучили, где стоит каждый враг, вот. Вы просто уже закликиваете 2 кнопки. Да? Ну, тут может произойти что-то неугаданное, вы падаете на какую-нибудь гранатку или еще что-нибудь. Не убили, а оглушили. Что вы, а? Мы за любовь и дружбу. Любовь и магия. Любовь, дружба, любовь, магия.
That too doesn't matter. This sniper up here is very dangerous. Oh, she actually got sprayed. That's sick. I wanted the chase down so bad. Just keep in mind for later, I am donating $10 for every death there. Can't save Miles. We've got to save the children at least. Mm. Alright, sweet. Thankfully, you do not have to fight those choppers. Ooh. I like the camera angle. It was not intended.
Sure.
Unnecessary, accidental style. I'll take it all day. Oh no. Wow, that guy went down like an absolute sack of dirt. I'm a little far away from the other shield dude, but I did have a... Yeah, I had the 50% bonus activated. Thank you. Alright, that's the biggest threat here. I did not want to blow so many hollow drones here. Alright, sweet. Man, just that one section. Almost had it too. I was trying to make a Venom Blast as you saw in the other one. Then opened Golden. It's kind of RIP for record, even if I have like a flawless fin fight, but to be expected. The rest of that was really clean after that sequence. That's kind of why this run, it's my favorite by far in this game, category-wise. Just because it is so ridiculously difficult. You're always like 2 hits from disaster, or being put on like your last like magic pixel. And thankfully Prowler comes in to save the day. After Miles clears out about like 100 guys.
You've got more important things to do.
He's right. Go.
Got time for a couple more donations right before the final fight.
Actually, Scarn, I was wanting to ask you a quick question. What console are you playing this on?
It's on PS5.
The PS5, like the PS5 that people can be entered for a chance to win by donating a cumulative total of $50?
That's
to
great.
save the children?
If it came with Ratchet and Clank, it would be even better, however.
Oh, yeah. All you have to do is donate a cumulative total of up to $50, and all you have to do that is just visit esa.com/donate. And it doesn't have to be $50 all at once. It could be $50 in segments if you want to donate to different incentives or during different times during the course of the marathon. But yeah, an estimated value of $500, and all it costs you is up to $50 for a chance to win it.
Sweet, sounds like a good deal. Another good Insomniac game on PS5. So that cutscene actually used to be skippable until like January. So it's kind of a pain to run against my best time from then, because I'd lose like a minute RTA. But they do in-game time, which is very sensible from the mods here. All right, 4 phases on this fight. The first phase is, I'd say, probably the hardest. So I will burn at least one of the remote mines here. Good. See, she's got that hammer. Get back, garbage. She's got a lot of shenanigans like that to get you off of her. If you space it correctly, however, just like that. Oh, baby. That was still good. That was still really good. She actually whiffs it, which is huge, because those things do like half your bar. They actually used to do like 80%. I think they... I think they actually nerfed that a hair. Phase 2, she goes into that real fast. I did not really want to burn that there, but make it work. Gotta be very careful on the edge, because if you ring out, it actually like resets you. She will just like hit you.
Прошу, меня простить. Вот, финальный босс, да, та самая умелец, да, Финн. Вот. Что говорил? Как я говорил ранее, она использует все техники, которые используются орденом, каким орденом? Всеми врагами подполья. Вот, то есть до этого вы видели меч, да? Она атаковала мечом. Сейчас она у нас стреляет оглушающими, так скажем, рельсами, да, как рельсган, вот. Оглушающие гранатки, быстро перемещается, ставит у нас... с базукой была, что-то такое. Но мы сражаемся, чтобы переместить ее все ниже и ниже к тому самому реактору. Вот. Вот. Это та самая миссия... Вот сейчас она с броулерами, да? С этими, ну, как выглядит как броулер. С самими перчатками. Естественно, она очень быстро перемещается, стреляет из той самой оглушающей базуки, вот. Файт не такой сложный, файт как с обычными ну, как с обычными солдатами, вот. Отличается только тем, что атаки смертоноснее и сильнее, да. С каждым все разом. Вот. Снова меч. Мечом она проводит круговые атаки, которые можно вернуться прыжками. Вот. Также она время от времени вот кидает вот эти колеса с пилами. Вот. Только что вы видели, как она подпрыгивает и пытается нас оглушить, да? Но прикол в том, что она и сама оглушается на небольшое количество времени. Эта атака действует против нее самой. Здесь у нас по стелсу ничего не получится сделать, потому что она нас просто закидает гранатами. Вот. Нет, хелсбаров нет ни у одного босса. Вот, просто бей, пока бьется.
It's better off to dodge early so you don't get the slow-mo and slow you down a little bit more, but they made this a little bit tighter timing-wise, I feel like. If you hit her twice, it goes into like the next phase of this. If you hit her once, you gotta do it again. That seems like the most optimal stuff from what I found. Nice. Yeah, just one more round of this, and then
ну, еще у нас очень много катсцен, которые мы скипаем, естественно. Вот.
Last chance of dying, potentially. Sick. That's it for Finn.
Чем больше эпика, тем больше эпика.
That was a killer fight. That's probably the best one I've ever done on our actual run.
Yeah, that was insane. That was awesome.
Thank you, Chrono.
Финальный ролик.
I'm definitely proud of that. That was awesome. This is gonna be well under like 3 hours.
Пока мы дрались с Финн и пытались ей вправить мозги, то, что она глупенькая, ничего не понимает, что происходит. Вот. Тот самый реактор с Нурфомой взрывается, да. И пока мы это делали, наш дядя вместе с кем? С друзьями
I
спасал
would have been right there
людей.
for the record.
Спасал людей.
Yeah, that's a gold split.
Обнимашки.
Current pay
Just a hug.
257.18.
Хак.
That is
Любовь и
really
дружба,
sick. That's the
ребята.
second
Любовь
best
и
run
дружба.
I've ever done on this. It was so close. Without that other
GG,
room too, that
да,
was like
GG.
3 minutes I think wasted. Brutal. So there's there's another microwave alleyway now. He's twice the mana Solid Snake is, I guess. And then after the second cutscene or second cinema is time. I'll let you know. But I'd like to thank ESA giving me the opportunity to run this. Been a great experience, great motivation to actually like clean this run up and have like really good fights on like Prowler and Finn, take it to the next level. Chrono, thank you for commenting with me.
My pleasure. Yeah, my
Absolutely.
pleasure. It's a great run. It's awesome to see.
Да, большой рад, что это
And
верно.
Nico, Nexus, shout outs to everyone over there. Mick Austin, Zilly, Zealot, Soothsayer, thank you guys all for donating. Evan T, Jack, Sean, Matt, thanks for watching.
Последний квиктайм event.
Spider-Man
Просто надо
community as
дойти до
well.
реактора, остановить его.
Protorth, Floppy, Des Creek, all you guys. Much appreciated. And a special shout out to Mrs. Scarn for encouraging me to even like stream in the first place. Being very supportive, even with a little baby Scarn while running this game. He'll eventually take these records down, I have no doubt.
She understands what's actually important.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
I was gonna have little baby Scarn zip in with the Spider-Man mask at the end, but it is 2 a.m. I'm not bothering his sleep schedule. Any parent knows how much it takes to actually get that sorted out. Alright, so after this next, after he holds on to it and it changes where the glass breaks, that is where time is. It's time.
Тайм! Закончили Человеком-пауком, на который я даже не рассчитывал, блин. Ё-моё. На что вы подписываете меня? На что вы меня подписываете? Вы подписываете себя на то, чтобы слушать мой фон. Вот.
Yeah, not too bad.
Was
I'll
awesome,
take that
man.
run all day. That's much better than it had any right to be.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Thank you all.
GG. That run
Father
came
Azra,
in...
how could I forget you guys?
Yeah. That was 2 hours and 57 minutes and 20 seconds on our end. So, definitely under the 3-hour mark. It was a great run.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll be donating. Well, what do we have? 3 deaths there, so $30 plus we'll say 13 minutes under. So I'll donate 95 in addition to the 52.31 for the amount of cutscenes we had. 52 minutes and 31 seconds. So RTA of that is under 205.
That's insane. I know that I was impressed by that run, so I imagine everyone who's watching probably impressed by that run. I just want to let everyone know that I've just been told that we're going to have a bonus run coming in before Vigil. We're going to have Crash Bandicoot 2 Entranced coming up next by Merkaz. So, getting a little bit extra.
Sweet, that should be great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Glad I didn't shoot over the estimate and deny that run from happening. That would have been sad.
That's why they call it an estimate.
For sure.
Have you checked out speedrunstore.com yet? 100% of the proceeds during ESA Summer will be donated to Save the Children, including the proceeds from the fabulous